I was so confused. How you doing, Mana? How's that 4-minute middle of the day search time going for you? Like, Jesus, someone queue into me. Okay.
等一下
I
啊，
almost
现在
never change my region on the launcher, so I just
这个
assumed, and because I have the same.
Et un petit peu de sous. Et je sais pas exactement comment il fonctionne, mais voilà, il dit ça permet de faire ce cash price là, mais aussi le Pixtie 5. Et bah c'est sur le lien que je viens de vous envoyer dans le chat. Vous pouvez y mettre quelques petits euros, n'est-ce pas? Pour, et bien, voilà, il dit ça permet de faire ce cash price là, mais ça part dans la poche de vos professionnels. Et puis ça permet d'organiser les prochaines éditions. Parce que le Pixtie, en vrai, s'il y en a un tous les 6 mois, je crois qu'on est tous contents.
Ouais, non, mais c'est un bon format, c'est un bon truc, c'est organisé par un individu qui est un gars en plus très sympa et qui a des choses à proposer, qui fait vivre la scène Starcraft via son stream aussi depuis des années pour des gens qui n'en pensent pas nécessairement. Public nord-américain, mais aussi un gars qui sur des horaires un peu pétés, qui a des choses à proposer, qui fait vivre la scène un Jared aka Pink Crenzel qui fait le taf, ça serait cool qu'il arrive à maintenir ça dans le temps, le boulot est fait et la dernière pista était très cool aussi, donc un Jared aka il y a des choses à faire et si vous vous sentez en mesure de faire ça et de soutenir le projet, eh bien vous pouvez le faire. Le boulot est fait et la dernière pista
Merci pour le resub et c'est vrai que bah moi je me dis que si j'étais un fan de Starcraft Inter, donc je regardais des streams Inter en anglais et tout, je fais tout.
哎妈了个
Je
鸡
serais
的！
fan de Pig, je pense. Je pense que le stream de Pig il est sympa quoi, tu vois.
Ouais, et puis en plus, Pig, il soulève de
不用慢慢来啊！
Ouais, non, mais c'est même pas ça.
Non, mais ça
plus...
joue.
Mais quoi?
T'es obligé de l'admettre.
Mais je peux pas être un fan du stream de Rotterdam, tu vois. Je m'en fous de ces gamins
Bah,
protos.
t'as
En fait, ça me
peut-être
touche pas, ça m'emmerde.
là.
Alors que Pig, il y a les 3 races, il y a plein de choses à raconter. Il y a de la création de contenu YouTube. C'est un modern kid en vrai, Pig, même s'il est plus vieux que moi du coup. Il va sur tous les fronts de la création de contenu et il fait ça pas mal quoi. Il crée ses compètes, il fait ses best-of, il a.
跟着我去吃个饭啊！那个宋管家叫我了，我马上来啊，马上来。
Après, il y a des bonnes anecdotes sur le film de Roti.
Il y a des bonnes anecdotes. Il est dans les bonnes têtes.
Salut Staël qui nous dit ça fait plaisir de venir vous revoir, quel souvenir avec vous sur SC2 depuis 2012, 2121. Ah non,
Staël, c'est un pseudo que je connais ça.
Bah écoute, big up à toi, je sais pas si tu redébarques sur la TV pour la première fois, mais si c'est le cas, c'est cool. On continue de découvrir voilà, qu'il y a des gens qui ont été...
follower depuis le 12 septembre 2022, hein, ça, il a mis son follow à la création.
Ok, ouais.
Et il y a eu peu d'interactions.
Je vois.
Le bon style.
Salut Astrotrick, j'espère que tu vas bien.
Salut à tous. La couille, tout ça, on
Salut
connaît.
à tous.
On est très content de vous avoir, faut que ça monte. C'est pas d'ailleurs à partager potentiellement le dernier tweet de la comeback, tiens. Ça c'est une option. Ça c'est quelque chose que je vais vous mettre dans le chat et vous pouvez allègrement cliquer dessus.
Oh ouais, de ouf, ouais.
Le tweet comeback TV.
Moi je vais me faire un petit RT quote là.
Ah. Un autre channel.
Comeback TV. I will repost that shit.
Voilà. Il y a un autre channel, mon ref. Mon buff, mon seuf, mon puff. Putain, n'empêche, gros, le petit stick mou qui nous a piqué là, hier, là, moi, il fait du dégât. Hein. Nous, ah ouais, il est bien gonflé, mon genou, quoi.
Ah, celui de
la terrasse d'hier, ouais.
Ouais, de la terrasse.
Un moustique qui a piqué Funka, où j'étais un peu dans l'alerte en mode attention, regarde partout, tu vois.
Il arrive chez Wam.
Et il arrive à me piquer sur le genou, ce bâtard, et c'est un peu la première fois qu'un moustique est en train de me piquer, et je me dis déjà, putain, ça fait mal. Genre, je sens quelque chose là, et il était gros cet enfoiré, je l'ai bien écrasé, il y a eu bien du sang partout. J'ai peut-être chopé le sida de Funka.
Ah bah très bien, ouais.
Bah très bien, ouais. Les gamins, les gars. Ça prend trop de temps ces trucs. J'espère revenir plus régulièrement. Les enfants, ouais. Quel drôle de projet.
Ah, tu peux toujours les abandonner, hein.
Non, interdiction d'abandonner ses enfants, interdiction d'abandonner son chien. On n'abandonne pas, n'abandonne pas. Non, je refuse.
Est-ce que tu sais que samedi 17h, il y a la première journée de National 3 de l'USM Ping-Pong Malakoff et ça joue contre Beg.
Ah ouais?
Ah ouais.
Et tu vas compete?
Non, pas du tout.
Ouais, dommage.
Non, mais de toute façon, je suis même pas inscrit pour la compète.
Ouais. T'es en
Le
loisir.
médecin, il m'a dit attention, si c'est compète, je vous fais un électrocardiogramme. Hein.
Ah ouais, c'est obligatoire.
Ah ouais. Elle c'est pas. Non, mais c'est pas. Il y a plein de médecins, mec, qui te regardent, ils font bon.
Non. Quand t'avais 14 ans, oui, mais en vrai, à l'âge adulte, ils sont obligés de le faire en théorie. Et moi, je l'ai fait hein, pour le semi-marathon et tout. C'était pour.
Faire un électrocardio.
Ouais.
Oui.
Non, à l'âge adulte, dès que c'est compétition, ils le font.
Ouais, je sais pas, je parlais de ça sur mon stream la dernière fois, il y a un médecin qui disait oui, bon.
Oui, non, mais bien sûr, à la fin, les gars, ils sont libérales, ils font ce qu'ils veulent, mais sur le principe, dans les recommandations médicales, ils sont censés le faire.
D'accord.
Et si après, ils veulent te signer un truc, et puis 95% du temps, il n'y aura pas d'arrêt cardiaque, hein. Même plus, 99,9% du temps, mais en vrai, ils pourraient avoir des problèmes si t'en fais un et qu'ils n'ont pas une preuve papier que ton cœur allait bien, quoi.
Je vois.
Golère, merci pour le prime.
C'est le semi-marathon quand même, faut déconner.
Oui.
Ah, sur la certif de badminton, c'est explicitement marqué en France.
Ouais, et Léo, il s'est inscrit pour la compète en aviron, on lui a demandé un électrocardiogramme et tout. Donc c'est la classique. Ça a démarré Clem Creator, on est en plein dedans lui comme tu peux le constater. Oh Clem le split
de la game.
Oh Clem le split.
Alors pour revenir à la stat de Serral de tout à l'heure, Serral a actuellement 48% de chance de gagner le tournoi et si Clem n'est pas dans le tournoi, Serral a 53% de chance de gagner.
Ok d'accord.
Voilà.
Il est parti en couille le bon à Racnuche tout à l'heure.
Il y a eu partage en couille là, ça se sentait à un moment donné. Je veux pas faire le mec qui sait mieux parce qu'après on va encore me dire que voilà j'ai une gueule de bûcheron et que je fais semblant de savoir mieux. Et quand même, faut pas déconner.
Faut pas déconner ce mec.
Personne n'a 90% de win rate ou de probabilité de gagner. Même le GOAT n'a pas ça. Même Flash à sa période de domination la plus vénère, 75% victoire, c'est tout. C'est déjà énorme.
C'est déjà énorme. Viens dans la game.
Oh my god.
Avec le vieux smiley sur ta gueule, ça rend le truc si lame, c'est très drôle.
Il faudrait que je regarde le retour.
Ouais, faut que tu le refasses en mettant le retour.
Attends. Moi je vais le refaire du coup. Ah, vous m'en voudrez pas.
Ouais, ou si t'en as un autre.
Ah putain, c'est tellement ridicule.
C'est trop ridicule, mais ça marche bien,
Ah, j'ai un su si tu veux quoi. Et le su. Là, je sais pas ce que c'est. La vieille émote de merde.
C'est trop nul.
Non, c'est trop dur les lives à cette heure-là, les gars. Moi, je suis complètement à côté de mes pompes.
Mais non,
là.
t'es en place,
J'ai envie
mec.
de spammer des émotes là.
Mais spam donc, mec, spam donc. Ah putain, c'est la
J'avoue,
classique,
ça
les mecs,
manque,
quand
hein,
on est bien calé chez Tech. Putain.
Ouais. Le plus souvent la veille, on est généralement parti en mode balèque.
Eh ouais, mec. T'as vu, ce matin, j'ai changé la banane quand les gens se resub en ce moment. Ce n'est plus la banane, c'est bien ton petit déhanché là.
Oh.
Merci Soyland pour les 13 mois consécutifs. C'est énorme. Ça fait bien plaisir. Et ouais, du coup, 5 jours de compète, les amis. 3 matchs par jour, ça va être cet horaire un petit peu moisi. Malheureusement, hein, vous serez obligé de le regarder pendant votre post-déj ou pendant le boulot, etc. Mais voilà, ça va être des midi, 15h30, 16h, tous les jours jusqu'à la fin de la semaine. Donc, voilà. Hein, il y a des gens, ils me disent...
Qui nous a dit join Pigfest 4 ?
Je sais, mec. Je suis dedans et c'est comme ça que je me suis retrouvé dans la game dans laquelle je t'ai invité. Ah ouais, Funkadelic, pendant que tu fais des oh my god. Ça bosse, mec.
Dans le Pigfest 4 ?
Ouais.
Ah ouais, ok, j'avais pas vu le... Ok. Ok. Et il y a 6 minutes, effectivement, qu'il a dit join, donc je suis un peu de merde. Je le déteste.
Salut Helium Twitch, merci pour ton prime. On a eu Bawakuda, on a eu Lille, on a eu Goler, j'ai dit, Joera. Bon, lui, on va pas lui refaire le... Hein. Game Panda, merci pour ça, Game Panda, Sabo Libra. Merci pour ça. Les refs, putain, les 12-13 mois qui tombent là. Hein. Ça fait bien plaisir.
C'est beau.
Continuez à vivre votre passion. On la vit pas, on la subit, mec. Hein. On attend qu'une chose, hein, c'est de toucher le million de berry pour partir faire autre chose. Le million de berry. Comment?
Et puis Etnoub qui continue avec son copy-pasta. Hein. Qui c'est qui a sorti cette phrase à l'origine?
C'est lui, mec, c'est lui qui invente des choses.
Donc il s'auto-pasta. Non mais Pietnoub, y a rien qui va. Hein.
Il s'auto-pasta pas, en fait, il essaye d'être leader de tendance. Pietnoub, il a fait des trucs cool, genre par exemple, petit polo Lacoste, petite casquette, petite lunette ronde et tout, stylé, tu vois. Sauf qu'il l'a pas fait en 2018. Il l'a fait en 92, là où tout le monde mettait des baggy et des trucs, c'était le bouffon de la bande. Et là, c'est un peu pareil. Tu vois. Copy Pasta nous fera peut-être rire dans 10 ans, mais pour l'instant, on va le ban ce con de pied de noob. La violence du truc. Je me permets, c'est mon pied de noob, les amis, c'est mon pied de noob.
Non, mais il mérite d'en prendre plein la tronche.
Ouais. Oui.
Gratos.
J'aurais préféré 18 mois.
Pardon.
Pourquoi 18 mois? Vous avez pas créé la...
Bah, c'est une histoire de dire, j'aimerais que ça dure depuis des années.
Ah ouais, déjà. Ah bah voilà, les copies pasta qui commencent, très bien joué.
Non mais bien
Sunga.
C'est bien là, ça c'est une activité cool dans le chat là, on se met bien. Et puis bon, hey, Loco a posté une game sur son YouTube où Clem battait Serral, donc croisons les doigts.
Ouais, mais ça a été casté sur la Comeback TV, je crois.
Non mais Astrotrick il est pas concerné là. Il est pas concentré.
Ouais, je vais chercher ça. Clem Serral, Unexpected Nilus, Best of 5.
耶，孙哥人呢？
Bah ouais, ça a été casté sur Comeback TV.
孙哥去吃饭了吗？
C'est le 3-1 ça. Ah oui, avec ancienne Turn Game 4. Ça a été casté ça en français.
Ancienne sister.
Vraiment là, Astrotrick, tu peux pas nous dire qu'il y a eu une VOD de locaux sur un truc qu'on a vécu à 2000 personnes. Il est dans les VOD, il est dans les replays hein, de la Comeback TV.
C'est vrai, c'est vrai.
D'ailleurs, je vais m'occuper de... À partir de maintenant, je vais m'occuper de...
哦，孙哥不见了是吧？
les temps forts, de mettre des petites miniatures et tout. Comme ça, on aura une vraie banque d'archives. La première année de la comeback aura été un peu perdue, c'est pas très grave. Mais reprenons le travail d'archivage quand même qui est important.
C'est important l'archivage, on en parlait hier.
Ouais. Donc je vais m'occuper de ça dans la semaine. C'est sur mon petit post-it. Sur mon petit post-it. Mail à Kaoru, temps fort CBTV. Et d'autres trucs que je peux pas vous dire, bien sûr.
Bah. Sur les trucs qu'on peut pas dire, j'ai fini par avoir
une réponse.
Communication avec tous les membres.
Ah, nice. Ah, ça c'est cool alors.
Communication, hein.
Ouais, pas validation, mais. Un bon départ, n'est-ce pas?
Un bon départ.
Bon, Piggy, il est midi 13. Je vais.
En vrai, je vais tout péter, mec. Genre,
là, c'est pas bon, là. Là, c'est pas bon.
不是我不知道孙哥去哪里了，我不知道，
Quelqu'un a une hache pour Punka.
完全不知道孙哥去哪里了。
Alors ça c'est Adesman qui est toujours sur la vanne de je suis un bûcheron là, c'est ça?
Ah ouais, oui, je crois qu'il il est resté...
Mais regarde ces 8 derniers commentaires, ça ne parle que de ça.
Ah ouais? Bon, si c'est son gimmick, écoute.
C'est son gimmick.
C'est son gimmick. Ouais, Pic qui se met à l'horaire Roger à la bonne époque, alors que vous avez vu, nous on a pris 30 minutes avant, on a pris la parole 15 minutes avant, je fais 45, bon je suis allé faire ma vaisselle de speech, on a pris à 46 tu vois, mais en vrai on est en place, Piggy là il nous met un midi 13. C'est une honte absolue.
稍微等一会儿吧，等一会儿看他来，稍微等一会儿。我在试我的新的麦克风，就感觉有点不适应了，有点不适应。
Non mais il est ready, ils sont là depuis 8 minutes.
Non, ils viennent de le mettre, midi 13.
Je les ai baisés. Non, je l'avais pas vu du tout vraiment.
Ok.
J'ai juste fait un bait, mec.
Ouais, trop fort.
Voilà, et ça part la game. Non mais dites-moi merci, y a pas de problème.
我的声音好吗？我的声音好吗，兄弟们？
Il va y avoir du gameplay maintenant.
Allez, s'il te plaît, Clem. Voilà, s'il te plaît, baise le fort.
声音有点大是吧？
我回来了。
哎，他们说我声音有点大吗？
你为什么声音变了？
我换了个麦克风。
你声音是稍微大了一点。
那我调小一点，我调小一点。
他们把地图做错了吗？我靠！
现在呢？现在呢？现在声音怎么样？
还是大一点。
还是大了吗？我他妈没有增强啊！我靠！
Je pense que moi je peux demander à Elise mon café.
Je vais me faire un café.
他们说这个麦克风不如以前的。
没有以前的好是吧？
对，你要用以前的吧。
J'aime bien un petit peu abuser de
我先测试一下。
quand je suis en live. Alors que bon, vous savez tous, en temps normal, quand je suis tout seul, je me lève, je vous abandonne, on en a rien à foutre, tu vois. Là, il y a Elise, je fais.
现在呢？
Comme ça,
差不多吧。
double sa mère.
我再调小一点。我是说我自己听，我自己听。
C'est Pig, il nous baisse fort, ouais. Pig, il... Ouais, mec. Vénère.
Bon, je suis là bientôt, promis. Le café est en train de couler là. Il faut couper un arbre. Voilà.
C'est vraiment con de dire ça. Je vais en profiter pour couper un arbre. Ok les amis, j'étais...
怎么样？
J'en étais là, comme ça, regardez.
我还在调呢。
Face à cet homme,
那你先调，
en
你先
haut à
调。
droite, créateur. C'était ça le début de ma phrase. En haut à gauche, la patoune, le mlem, le liquide, le clem. Bang.
应该好了吧？现在应该好了。
Et on va voir ce qu'il va donner.
现在
他们说
应该好了。我
你是
就
声卡
开了
有问题，就这个声音不对，他们这里有混音的，你这个是
Il a
这
chassé,
里面。
mais j'ai pas retenu. Mais il a fallu 15 lignes où c'était le pseudo de Clem qui était surligné avant qu'il y en ait une de ligne avec le pseudo de Creator surligné évidemment dans leur historique de confrontation. Donc c'est quoi ce logo de
他们有混音是个什么说法呀？
你自己听啊。
Qui a été intégré dans StarCraft 2 par Clem parce qu'il est fan des petits animaux mignons puisqu'il en est un lui-même. Excellent.
Ah, c'est con parce que Clem, ouais, il aime bien les chats quoi. Du coup.
Ah bon?
Ah bah oui. Ah, sa description Twitter c'est I like cats and widow mine.
Ah, je pensais que c'était I like cats and weed, j'étais en mode incroyable.
I like a lot of cats and weed and I split my marines better than anyone. Ah.
Ok,
Ça,
merci
bien,
Brony.
il se donne, hein, il essaye des trucs. Hein.
Ouais, peut-être le beat test. Non, mais il est shameless
我
maintenant.
换了个耳机，今天
C'est-à-dire que
我想
vraiment, on est sur un
换个耳机试试看
personnage。de type CE1 à peu près. Aucune forme de honte, tente des
你
trucs.
混音这块调掉啊。
N'a pas peur de se faire mal. Ça, c'est beau.
Ça.
Oui, la bonne défense ici. Clem, hier, qui jouait face. Hier, il y avait un truc chez Pig. Je sais pas si dans le chat vous les étiez devant.
我把降噪打开
Vous
看
avez
看
vu。ça?
啊，
Elise. Et en fait, il y a Pig qui l'a fait jouer face à un Archon de 3 Protoss, aka Max Pax, Mana et Arstem. Et ça,
Qui il a fait jouer en face de Starcount?
Clem.
Clem solo contre ces trois là?
Voilà.
Ok.
Et ils avaient des malus, notamment ils avaient pas le droit de faire des zélotes et des disrupteurs. Parce que sinon c'était un peu trop dur quoi. Et en vrai,
关小一点
l'ancienne，
应
Super
应该好了吧？
换
现在应该
了
好了。
个机，我靠
ils！se retrouvent à... Mec, il y avait double... En fait, il y
现
avait
在
une
应该
game
好了。
normale et 2 gars qui avaient individuellement chacun un prisme avec leur HT Storm dedans quoi.
也一个兵营
Ça
啊。
allait de tous les côtés mec, la fight finale c'était une dinguerie, genre vraiment... Clem il avait beaucoup parce qu'il avait perdu beaucoup de récolteurs et il s'était monté une méga pop et il arrive et tout et là il y a des prismes qui débarquent de partout. Les méga douches et tout genre là. La fight
prisme speed.
Bah ouais, la fight infaisable par un seul homme quoi.
没有之前的声音那么清脆了吗？
不不，你换回来吧，这个声音听得好难受。
En passant, du coup, on a un
Ah,
créateur qui est en
Tina.
train de nous faire une espèce de Max Paxery, un truc qui a fonctionné cette semaine alors que l'adepte va se glisser B1 en plus, il est en train de mettre un micro son Reaper de l'autre côté de la carte, donc du coup n'a pas vu l'arrivée de l'adepte. Ça peut être un début un peu chiant et notamment il y a eu des early games globalement dominés par le joueur danois pendant la finale de l'ESL Open Cup de lundi. Et si c'est un peu le cas, alors dominer c'est peut-être pas encore le terme, hein. Dominer, mais c'est plutôt un
On
peu
a ce
chiant
truc là
d'avoir
quoi.
cet adepte.
Ouais.
Et là je pense qu'il va warper 3
Ah,这个
adeptes,
什么战
puis
术
3
啊
stalkers, puis 3
野引
stalkers,
刀
puis Link à la maison et ça peut
也
faire
不像啊。
très mal. Il continue de foutre le bordel, hein. C'est pour ça que ça bouge.
Ouais, définitivement. En fait j'ai envie de savoir ce qu'il va foutre et ce qu'il...
Et le Hélion va se coucher.
哎呦，看到了，
Magnifique là-dessus Clément.
Et on tue la sonde. Qu'est-ce que ça va être un warp d'adepte? Bien ouais, j'en s'en va. Ici dans le bunker, on a des marines. Il y a un bunker.
你妈
en plus
库
dans
本
la
什么
ligne
时候
de
也
Minerai
也
des
搞
deux
这
mecs,
种
Il
了
avait？ flairé quelque chose quand même parce que.
哇，克莱姆可以啊！
Ça c'est dingue.
哎，这个防守提前量有点到位的。
C'était quoi? C'était Zest qui avait fait une variation de ce build là avec son deuxième gateway proxy et tout.
我靠，这个地堡什么意
Ça
思啊？
appuyait très fort sur Adept puis Stalker puis Adept puis Stalker. En vrai le bunker.
他防你使徒啊！
Bah ouais.
Il évite le moment où le mec.
有带摄像头的留的呀，有的。你看那个 Pig 的
Et là, il y
频
a
道就
tout
好
le
了呀。
bunker,
你为什么
en
不
temps
看那个
qu'il
Pig
va
的
être
频
placé
道
au？milieu,
因为 P 哥的频道有那
il
个
a fait des unités
哎有聊天框，我靠，烦死了。
哦，但比赛开始就没了。
OK， 那我切过去。
你比赛开始你切过来就好。我感冒了，我没感冒，我换了个麦克风。但是这个麦克风感觉是电容麦，我靠了，
不行，这麦克风不行。
That being said, Creator got a reasonably timed third base behind it. His blink will still be done soon. So I don't think he's committed as hard as he could have, right? If he warped in 3 rounds of units on the front, went ham, this would be a very different game. Clem now going to sell that bunker there.
鼻音很重，对的，你说的，你们兄弟们说的没错，是鼻音很重。
鼻音很重是吧？
对的，就感觉你他妈感冒了一样，知道吧？
啊，还是这样。
Raven is hiding behind the third base. We're ready to come in behind the natural for some mortar turret harass, but Creator's pretty well.
哎呀，果然便宜没好货呀！换一个好吧？
换一个。
Across the middle of the map. One adept chilling in the natural. Charge is on the way as well as a robo and a forge behind this. Almost dead even workers though, and that's always going to be good for the Terran player. Oh, Adept barely survives on a single hit point there up against that Raven. Raven throws another order turret down. Nicely done. Gets 2 more probes and a bit of mining time. Not too bad. I think if
我突然发现 Creator 这个视野做的有点好，你们看小地图，基本上全部点亮啊，真的视野做的可以。
Probably means he misses a few Marines and Marauders in production here because you can't really keep up non-stop SCVs and Marines and Marauders and build a third this early. And it looks like SCVs are actually
家里面守的是固洛金汤啊，不着急，等运输机出来了再往前推。
我换回来了，怎么样？
那就对了呀，就正常的呀。
哎呀妈了个鸡的，这个雷蛇的真不靠谱。买了个雷蛇的耳机玩玩，真不靠谱。我本来。是这样的，阿奎博耳机坏了嘛，我就去买了个，我看雷蛇在卖，我就去买了个试试看。那声音果然跟这个铁三角的还是有差距啊。不行，雷蛇这个实践证明不行。我说了慢不着，没有，我现在用的是铁三角的，我之前用的森海塞尔的。
森海塞尔
看看，我买个雷蛇的，看看他这么多年进步没有？发现并没有什么进步。
森海塞尔也没有那种感觉啊！就你妈的那个雷蛇的就鼻音特别重。
不行，森海塞尔的和这个铁三角的还是要好一些，这个卖。他妈价格也不一样啊！这个雷蛇的多少钱？800多块。
不，
妈的，我这个铁三角的2000多，森海塞尔的4000多，那妈的是有差距的。
那是的呀。那你为什么不买2000块以上的雷蛇的？可能它质量就好了。你他妈的拿了个800块去跟别人
雷蛇没有2000多的呀。
那就说明他们耳机做的妈的不高端呀，就那么回事了呀。
但800多，你说这个效果是不是也差了点？反正他耳机做的不是很好，那这样的话，听还可以，但是当然也有可能是因为我还用了个外置声卡嘛，就是这个，这本来也是主播用的耳机。回头挡不住了呀，
挡不住了，这个3个坦克太猛了。
对啊，挡不住了。
He does feel the pressure to do damage here. Battery overcharge heals up these units a little bit, but as he goes to the third base, he could definitely cause problems for the Protoss. Probes being pulled into the fight. Zealots coming in. The Colossus gets focused.
强行守，坦克集火，追猎，守住也死了，直接打爆了。
最后一个巨像，但没
你有聊天室的时候，你找个图片把聊天室遮了呀。
OK， 我知道了，
对不对嘛？找个大的图片把聊天室遮了就好。
你说的没有错。
And Creator needed a near perfect follow up to be able to get that one back. Well played by Clem. Alright, guys, game 1 there. And yeah,
为什么不用圆月弯刀？圆月弯刀他没给我呀，他没有给我圆月弯刀呀。
Getting a little bit jittery, a little bit excited here, posting things up, getting everything happening. We'll make sure the next one has those worker pop-ups automatically on the screen. Next one's also going to be Creator's map and Creator's server. So it is matched up right now. Player's map pick and server lined up. And that is
拿个图片去把它遮了就好了。
遮了，已经遮了。
嗯。
你在吃饭关我毛事。
Cool. What's up, everybody? No, this is not on the new patch. The new patch is still a bit experimental. So as much as I'd like to get on it, players have been playing a lot of other tournaments, and they haven't.
这你妈，你整这么大个土都在这里干嘛？
不遮住啊！这感觉还不够大，有些地方没遮起来，我还得再遮一下。
Something a bit smaller, definitely, but there's too many little unforeseen, like, you know, it's always good. You do that, and then halfway through the tournament, you realize there's something that's broken, doesn't work as it should, and it's like in the middle of a big money match where you notice, and then everyone's just like, ugh. So I'm being a bit of a scaredy cat, choosing not to do it. All right, guys. So I think we posted the maps in chat before, guys.
这个比赛是 PIG 自己办的一个邀请赛啊，他这个比赛第5届了吧，应该算是。
应该众筹的吧？
众筹有众筹，也有他自己掏的奖金。哦，不对，他没有掏过奖金，就是众筹的应该是。现在基础奖金应该是8500美金，好像。然后他们第1名是能得到所有众筹奖金池的35%。
就如果是那个就只有8500，那35是多少嘛？3000。
不知道，上一届反正最后上一届他是发了1万美金，这一届开始是众筹的。上一届的就是整个比赛是1万美金嘛，这一届他的改了个，就是我看他的奖金池是写的是8500，然后具体的奖金分配他写了一个就是众筹的一个方式嘛，就是35%给到第1名，17%给到第2名，然后3、4名8%，5到8名是4%，9到16名就最后的这9到16名是2%。但他这上面也没有写他筹到多少。
这个东西应该搞一个这种事实筹多少，这样的话相对来说就比较清楚一点。
It's going to be one of these series where it's very essential to win your own map picks. Your own map picks are also your server advantage. So the players have kind of really weighted their own favorite maps the most.
哦，他这样的，他是我看到了他的比赛是这样的，他的7800的这个奖金池是7800的奖金池是来自于就是他的上一届比赛筹到的多出来的，就这7800作为他的底奖金池，然后奖金池超过1万美金之后的话，他就会把这个奖金池轮到下一届的这个比赛，这是他的第4届嘛，所以也就是1万，第1名是3500刀等于，反正他到1万美金之后就奖金池就往下一届滚动。他也不是一次性发完的，
那也行吧，反正最高就1万刀，反正对吧？
对，
最高就1万，
就1万刀。也挺好，也挺好。李平南他是因为他邀请了他，然后他不想打比赛就拒绝了。之前我看李平南是被替换掉了嘛？
那应该就是那段
被谁替换？
最低落的时间。
对，就这很早以前邀请的，然后李平南直接不想打，就那段时间不是心太炸了嘛？然后剩下的选手都到了这个比赛，这个选手今天是 Clem 打 Creator， 然后第2场是 Zero 打 Trigger， 第3场是 Q 打 Bunny， 第4场 雷诺对索拉，第5场是马入对噩梦，第6场是小 Hero 对Hero Marine， 第7场是大可对沙师傅，第8场是 B 晕对 Max Specs。强的选手基本上都到了。
有点可惜，里片没参加。
反正今天一共打3个 BO3， BO5，3个 BO5， 一场是这个 Clam 对 Creator， 然后第2场是 Zero 对 Trigger， 然后两场比赛的胜者，然后打第3场的 BO5， 每天就3个 BO5。每天只打3个 BO5， 这个比赛不会像你们想的那种，就是一打，他要打到24号。
He doesn't, unless he attacks that Phoenix, he doesn't know it's a hallucination. You can tell when he attacks it because it takes double damage. But as long as it avoids getting attacked...
昨天还忘记把衣服抽了，今天把衣服抽了。
你先设置好嘛？
忘记。
That's very bad against Blink. You really want just Marines, Siege Tanks, Marauders.
忘记了。
Barracks is on the way. Raven there as well. Stalker's starting to warp in at home. So far, it's looking like just a 2-gate Blink, but no Robo. I think Creator's anticipating some aggression here, and there is a Siege Tank on the way. Going to try and take a 3rd base. The Hellion may have spotted the probe coming. Can definitely infer from the Stalkers moving down there that is Creator's intent. So with this,
第3场是 BO7 是吧？
他是这样，他到了第2轮就 BO7，2场波5，1场波7，这样子。
Hallucination. Once every minute and a half or so, you can summon that, get in there. As long as there's not Armory Widow Mines, what do you really need the Observer for this early anyway?
孙哥声音太小了，
不可能呀！
我声音调小一点。
我声音怎么可能小？
不，我把我声音调小一点就好了。我调小了，我已经。
Just something to be wary of. The Creator might have to pull those back, and he's going for the 4-gas Storm style. I do like this style, guys. 4 gases. Gonna go for Psystorm, but look at that. Shield Battery just gonna defend that auto turret. Clem not finding any damage this time. Clem has got 2 Siege Tanks out. He's gonna swap that 3rd barracks over. Very safe play for him. Do not want to blink out there. Uh-oh.
哎呦，为了摸一下又被打了一炮，难受啊 ！Creator 上来，妈的各种送追猎，3个追猎换了1个导弹车，
亏了。这比赛是一个淘汰赛啊，输了就直接被淘汰了。
对。
然后淘汰的话，可以获得2%的一个奖金池啊。就我们按照1万刀来计算的话，2%多少？200
刀。啊。
200
刀呀。
200刀也还可以，
也蛮好的呀。对吧？参加被淘汰了200刀嘛。吃顿饭啊！200刀不止吃顿饭的，200刀能吃几顿饭呢？
我跟你说，自己家里面做，你妈的200刀，
家里面做那得吃快1个月了。
就在韩国的话，对不对？1个月也可能有点过半个月应该没问题。我今天看到那个 B 站有个视频是讲韩国就有一个专门的一个什么泡面，就无人泡面那个店的，你知道吗？就是那种有点像无人超市，但它里面都是泡面，然后你买了之后他给你一个纸碗，然后旁边有什么水啊烧的东西，自己烧，然后还有什么鸡蛋什么的，反正你要加你就扫码就行了。
韩国好像泡面挺流行的，
流行的比较嘛，这什么不是饮料擦。哎妈，又压到这个位置，烦的一逼。现在早就反馈掉呀，把这个渡鸦。
妈的，已经投进去了1把闪电，
没用啊，这闪电。
韩国、日本水果贵，那水果肯定贵的呀。
坦克打不到。
这个地方没有那么多种水果的地方呀，只能靠进口，那当然贵了。
That's a little bit questionable, guys. 2 cyber cores? Extra Archon on the way right now. I think one of those might be meaning to be a gateway. Fire pulling back, Zealots are building up.
泡面这种东西偶尔吃，我觉得还
追着打。
他妈的绝对不能。
泡面不能经常吃，偶尔吃是挺好吃。
偶尔吃蛮好吃，说实话。
对。
But Creator's going to try and deactivate them with the store.
这2个地方肉也比劲儿贵。还是一样的呀，就是它地方小嘛，所以它畜牧业也不够呀。所以它肉也靠进口，那也贵的呀。
那是嘛？
那对不对嘛？这个很正常的呀。那韩国有什么便宜的？
他们不是说电子产品都很便宜吗？
也不一定吧。
这是我对韩国印象，感觉骨头这把一波把他冲死吗？
我靠，骨头这波还是有点狠啊，
有点狠，
挡不住嘞，挡不住了！哇靠，这把闪电完了，出事了，打穿了，GG了。克莱姆你妈的，你看克莱姆表情，我你妈，我怎么被冲死了？我你妈，哼！你看那表情，我妈的，这是什么情况？我怎么被打死了？
Both are completely good. Both are completely good. Clem looked really confused just then. Yeah, he didn't realize there was no robo. He did not realize. Yeah, he's watching the replay right now. He was like, "What the freak just happened, man?" Sorry, guys. I should actually be looking at.
韩国，我想到有一个便宜的。
什么东西啊？
整容是不是便宜？
整容？
他们整容业很发达的呀。是不是就便宜一点？因为比较卷嘛，你竞争多就便宜。
有这个说法吗？
化妆品比较便宜，对吧？那就是。哦。
I'm gonna blame Spotify. Are we linking into my my earphones? Gonna be back on Central for the next game, guys. Let's take a very quick break.
化妆品利润也很高的呀。化妆品以前那个以前大学也有专业学这个的，学这就是化学学这个东西的。
Actually, we already showed that twice.
以前我们那个专业就是我材化系的嘛。我们有这个化妆品的专业的，也利润非常高。它主要的成本在于营销，就广告成本很贵。
So, do you feel like it's been a pretty steady rise, or have there been any big roadblocks as you've been kind of climbing?
79块，你们他妈的叫玩这个梗是吧
？79块
，79块讲道理有点贵，
不
有点贵。
不，什么东西我都不知道，说实话，79块。
哎，就李佳琦卖的那个眉笔，
就画眉毛那个吗？是吗？
哎，对呀，
他妈的那
个有点
贵吗？
有点贵，79块真心有点贵。成本很便宜的这种东西。
看你妈！
哪里贵了？你们他妈又要玩那个？玩他妈玩梗是吧？我讲道理真有点贵。
妈个值79块，我还不如买的去菜场逛一圈，我操！一家人晚上晚饭就有着落了，我靠！说锤子。
So yeah, that's kind of a battle I think a lot of players have, where some will just refuse to ever think about balance and just be like, nope, it's fine. I'll just focus on what I can do to control it. But it sounds like you're in a pretty good spot with like acknowledging, okay, there's some issues here, but I'm still just going to keep focusing on what I can do better. But at the same time, I'm going to realize like, hey, this might slow down my results.
他的跟 Trigger 在做一些采访啊。
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of
Trigger，你看他外面那个 好像是个院子啊，感觉。
对的，你说的没有错，
对吧？感觉是个院子。这个是 Trigger 是个选手。这么多年一直是这个价，好不好？说明他妈的这么多年他都挣了很多钱呀。最近有点贵，因为我大学的时候我虽然没学这个，但是我还是接触过这个专业的，我他妈知道这个东西成本很便宜的。
不，什么叫花西子389一克？什么路虎0.6几一克是什么？你们怎么算出来这个东西？
不知道他们那些人怎么算的。
So I probably wouldn't have gone to Sweden this year if it wasn't for Basilisk or Home Story Cup for that matter.
之前卖10块是吧？10块还行吧。
Probably say that it has been over a year actually, and my contract expired, and I actually just got it renewed. So I'm renewed with Basilisk for another 2 years, which is really awesome, and I'm really excited. I probably would have gone back to school if it wasn't for Basilisk. So.
它的79块每笔，它只有0.8克是吧？
对啊
，0.8克。
Yeah, you'd be like most North American pro gamers, right?
Exactly.
Where you're doing a little bit of streaming.
那你妈这个东西怎么被他们吹上去的呢？我靠！
But then you have to study because finals are coming up, and you kind of drop off.
知道呀。
对啊，他妈怎么被他们吹上去？我在想这件事情。都觉得很贵，然后你们怎么被你们吹上去的？就花西子这个品牌
是0.08克，不是0.8。
哦，0.08克是吧？妈的，黄金多少一克？500，还是500？600？
黄金没有500，400多。
400多一克，那的确比黄金贵，我靠！这你妈！
怎么有人买？
这么一算，但我就想，他妈的谁把这个东西吹上去的呢？
was parting sub tournament. I was like Masters 1 at the time, and I participated in parting sub tournament. I won the whole thing. That was kind of like my first taste of victory, I guess.
黄金现在要600吗？
It was nice.
啊，都600了，真的假的？
I mean, after that, I played a bit more, gone to GM.
都600了，黄金，我他妈买的时候才多少啊？
赢了，
才200多，260，
赢了。
那不我起飞了，
飞到天上去了，好吧？
那我不赢呐！我他妈买的时候才260，兄弟们。
Alright guys, sorry to cut Trigger off in the middle of the interview there, but obviously we played that whole one before. We'll play the longer version of the interview later as well. For now, it's time to continue this series.
我买了多少啊？ 很多。
Thanks to everyone who's been getting in the raffle to win the Balance Wine shirt signed by pretty much
赶快卖掉，我跟你说，赶快卖掉。你信我就赶快卖掉，黄哥。
那我留着当传家宝的，我为什么要卖？
不是你现在卖掉，然后他妈等它再降下来再买呀！我靠！
我不要。
不，你肯
吨？买不起，我没有这个实力买1吨，你妈！ 你们买黄金都是按吨买的吗？我们按斤买就差不多了呀，按吨买是不是有点过了？
不是，现在如果说涨到600的话，那他妈这个已经很高了，你不可能妈的就再涨了呀，对不对嘛？你现在卖掉，然后到时候降到妈的400，你再买进去，我靠，不管怎么样，里外里你先赚200，对不对？
这个起码都放了6、7年了吧，估计。 那时候是突然有一天法人过来找我的。
And I believe it's because he did not realize that creators skipped Robo completely. That's a very rare style, and it essentially gets checkmated by an armory. If Clem simply has an armory, he can just have 10 Widow Mines spread across his third and his natural, and there's nothing Protoss can do to push in there. And he can counter drop and absolutely destroy them, right? So Clem is definitely going to be really kind of switched on to this.
没有600，他们说就470、480。 对呀，这个我觉得这个是符合我印象的嘛？怎么突然就600了嘛？对啊，银行金条价470，对啊，这个才是正常的呀，472呀。那你们动不动就他妈直接600，我他妈想啥情况啊？突然就涨到600了，这乱讲。
Creator though, prime time for him. He should be feeling nice and crisp.
600是金手势对吧？
Yeah, I don't think he's going to take a crazy risk like that again, skipping the robo. On the other hand, I do wonder.
他们妈就打2把要进中间有一个采访的吗？我靠！
没采访就放的视频，这个是都是放的视频。
这次因为我知道了，基本上来说的话，所有的选手都应该是有采访的视频的。所有选手
对应该都有。
然后他们因为打这个小组，可能今天就会把这个小组的选手全部放完视频。
哎呀，我也想去整一个那种麦克风架子算了。整个麦克风架子，这样的话我耳机我就不用戴那种罩着耳朵的了，罩着耳朵的，你每天戴太久了很难受。
整啊！
整个麦克风架子夹在桌子上面就好了。
哎，我想问个问题啊，既然你们说什么就黄金很饱，那我想问，他妈全世界黄金储量最多的是哪里嘛？
不知道呀，
有没有兄弟知道吗？
你问的那么飘逸的问题，
不只是问一下。
这一套纯金的架子，这你妈，你是不是智力有问题啊？进军音乐区，进军不了，没这个实力。
这你妈美联储，这你妈！我说还没被挖出来，太没有黄金的这种地方，你妈的资。
2个、3个，
行吧，4个，
哎呦，4个还行，
双线还可以哦。
哎，让他拉了一下农民，还行还行，这个操作，这个骚扰还行。4 probes for 3 Reapers, well worth it when you take into account the fact that he got an adept and he scouted that it's defensive Phoenix play, so he's going Cyclone into second. 宇宙大爆炸才生产那么多点黄金，不是你他妈你就已经知道整个宇宙有多少黄金了吗？你妈你这不就扯淡吧？说不定他妈有些星球就是黄金做的呢。谁知道呢？你们你就知道你妈宇宙只有这点黄金的。Interesting. Creator, what exactly is he up to? He's gonna need a slight supply block on 54, but 3-8. 不是你这个东西，宇宙他妈谁都不敢说自己了解的呀。
就算有，
就即便是现在最顶尖的天文学家，对宇宙的了解也就是一根毛。
就算有，你有办法采得到吗？
不是有没有，就是我就说现在最顶尖的天文学家，对不对？他妈掌握的知识，对宇宙的知识，那不也就是一根毛吗？妈，世界上有那么多未知的事情。
抬，可以，
追着打了，这个全部留下来。
有凤凰在，随便追啊，你跑都跑不掉。运输机也别想跑。
你登录账号了？
我没有啊。
那为什么突然显示
法人吗？我不知道啊。我在推流我登录毛账号，我靠！
不是登录账号，是我们直播间。你刷了一下直播间吗？
没有。
呀，那谁有我们账号的登录一下直播间的？应该是法人吗
？I don't know if there's any coming back from here. Clem is in the doo-doo right now. And honestly, it would really suck for Clem to go out early in this one.
这波其实，妈的，克莱姆很伤啊，搞不好苦雷头妈的一波就要把克莱姆打成重残，重伤。你什么科技都没有，现在这些追猎可以无限的来白嫖你，你没办法要包。
又
亏了。 少量的光头也没用啊，少量光头。地雷台，这种局面很难打了。啊，他差也没散一下。
You've got a few Marines, a single Marauder. The Phoenix picking off those Marauders as they pop out. And just amazing play by Creator. He's taking a third bind. He's got charge on the way as well. And he's still picking off these Marauders. That red hit point Stalker. Look at it just twerking.
回有大优。
对啊，这把感觉没了呀，被凤凰这样压制住。克莱姆的表情很不爽。Greater 现在只需要傻爆凤凰叉，你过来吃你一波，你就没了。
That's a very good position to be against the 2-base Terran, who's got stim shields +1 concussive, but no army. He's going to go for Widowmine drops and an armory, which makes perfect sense. How do you get back in a game of TVP? Well, number 1, Widowmine drops. Number 2, armory, and hope you skip detection like last game, which, to be fair, he did for a long time, but he will have that out reasonably soon. Probe sees him. Oh, Creator with the vision, man. Phoenix are on the way, and look at this. The pylon is going to see, okay, I know exactly where you are. No hiding from me, mate. He's going to
这里能阴到吗？如果能够把凤凰阴掉的话，那还好。
Played by Creator, who can start an observer and deal with that very easily. 14 zealots on the map right now. Now, arguably, the comeback for Clem.
这个局面 Creator 什么都别想，对吧？4晃开起来，然后只要 Clem 把3晃飞下来的时候，那就 A 上去就好了。不可能 A 不过的，优势那么大。
你出不了，你开不了矿了已经。你只要开矿 Creator 就冲了。
That's definitely where the comeback path comes. Forge, double Robo Colossus. This is actually like
我靠，你们又在讨论钻石了。钻石。
Phoenix Zealot into double Robo Colossus with super late upgrades. It's super gimmicky.
妈的，
钻石也是营销出来的呀。
我就想起了有
话
说什么一
颗
很
久远，你认不认这个东西吗？什么一颗很久远什么？
妈的，这个绝逼是洗脑的好吧？
就也是营销出来的嘛，就是你认不认嘛？你认这个事情就值钱，你不认你就觉得不值钱。但是有很多女的认，对不对？妈结婚的时候他就要让你买一颗，你最后就买了，买了他就值钱。
翡翠啊，翡翠不了解好吧？翡翠不了解。
翡翠你问钱南起呀，他可了解了
啊！对对，钱南起了解。哎呦，梦中捉鳖，
墙头。我买没买？我买了呀。我老婆认我怎么办呢？她跟我说结婚这个东西是仪式感。
毛的仪式感。
然后他说他妈的这个一定要买的仪式感。
那不买是你就问他不买是不是他妈不嫁了？
对呀、
不嫁我找别人去了，烦死了。
那妈的现在你是可以说这句话呀，他妈结的时候你说不了的呀。
有什么说不了吗？
Colossus. I expect a warp prism to come out, but of course he's supply blocked right now, so Creator does need to build those. Clem has a third base. Clem has +2 attack on the way, which is actually really cool. He never made armor. He's just gone straight to +2 attack. He's ahead on upgrades. Oh, but look, this is what I'm talking about with the Marine count being so low. There's almost as many Phoenix as there are Marines. He could pick every single one up. He needs Widow Mines to help him deal with the Phoenix, let alone the Master Zealot and the Colossus.
这个兵力随便 A 你啊！这前期太伤了。克莱姆这暴兵已经算很猛了，有凤凰在，你跑都跑不掉。
我买的后来是其实是别人送的，所以我就也没花多少钱。
这个跟别人送你或者是你自己买的是没有关系，这个是他妈原则的问题。我操，明知道智商税你还去交一遍，那你的智力不跟你老婆一样吗？
你认就好了呀！你妈的，那你要说智商税，那智商税多了，你认这个东西就好了呀。对我毛的，
那你为什么刚才要说什么是营销出来的呢？
是啊，他妈东西都是营销出来，都营销出来东西多了。对啊，我钻戒是毛的呀，别人给了我个成本价。
As it is Creator's map pick, and we're going back to his server. Clem is the first one to drop one of his map skies, and that is not good for him. Because, as we said, both players have their server advantage on their map as well. So to lose your own map puts you deep, deep, deep in the doo-doo.
成本价多少钱啊？那多少钱你肯定不能跟你们乱讲的呀。但是的确是毛的。别人说我结婚嘛，然后就送了我一个。反正我老婆也不管我是我买的还是我去毛的，反正她只要有就好。那不就可以了吗？
说是说的没错。
哎呀，是不是那么回事嘛？走个流程嘛，这个流程要走的呀。这流程肯定要走。
Thank you very much for the support, and don't forget, guys, to use your new player alerts as well. All of those, like Marsbar, just got a ticket in the raffle to win this shirt. Mousepad signed by Maru, Cyril, and all the rest. Thanks for the love, everybody. I hope you're having a good time. Players are ready. Are they ready? Of course, they're instantly ready. Let's do it. Good luck. Have fun, lads. All right. Time for an uphill journey. This is exciting. But, yeah, I mean, build orders, man. Clever builds coming out, guys. Very clever build orders. Creator, there is my special build against you, Clem the Predictable. Oh, calling him Clem the Predictable? Alright, guys. Let's see.
Clem 今天
哎，还是那句话，你这个世界上不存在智商税，就是你认不认，你认就完事儿了。哪有什么智商税不智商税的？你可能觉得这个东西没有价值，但是别人觉得有价值，那别人付了这个钱就好了。你要说智商税，那像比如说我就不认，我就不认可那些包的价值，那些奢侈品的价值，包括首饰啊这些价值我都不认可。但是有人认可，他就值这个钱，不就完了吗？就比如说你去买个爱马仕的包，那妈的10几万块钱、20几万块钱、上百万块钱。觉得妈的，我觉得包嘛，爱马仕这种包嘛，这种质量嘛，妈的100来块嘛，差不多了呀，在我心目当中，对吧？100来块我都嫌贵了，但是别人就是卖那么贵，但是有人买呀，哎，有人买不就吃嘛？那你说这个是智商税还是不是智商税呢？咱妈认可的人就觉得不是智商税，那不认可的人就觉得是智商税，这么就不就那么回事
？If he had 10 Marines with his first push, or even 8 Marines, I think he definitely could have been focusing down those adepts down very quickly and standing and fighting. But whilst he had a very good cyclone and Viking,
每个人想法不一样的，好吧？
是的呀，这个东西，就他自己买了，他自己的情绪到了，他觉得值就好了嘛。
Now, Twitch chat's pointing out that, well, almost always people go Robo. You were expecting that, Pig. And if he goes Robo, there's a gap in the Phoenix production. Often 2 gaps. Whereas Creator, on the other hand, was non-stop Phoenix production with no gaps in the production.
包能用，钻石没有实质价值。他妈能用，他妈能用的东西多了，你拿个塑料口袋也能到包用的呀。
钻石能够堵住你妈的那个女人的嘴巴，我靠，这个最可。
对呀，那不是用的吗？我靠！你不买它，你妈它跟你逼几天，你烦不烦？是不是也是这个价值还不够吗？
Creator could have gone up to like 6 or 7 stalkers, and that, of course, would have been a disaster because once he's warping in 3 stalkers at a time.
不要说钻石的，妈的，我先不说钻石，我先不说那个他妈什么那个什么，有个牌子叫什么施华洛奇什么。那个水晶，我靠，他凭什么卖那么贵？我靠！
哎，凭什么没有凭什么就卖那么贵？你要不要买？
我他妈肯定不会买的呀，买个锤子买。
那总有人买的呀。施华洛世奇
啊。
他的解释解放者可以挂后面吗？
So a drop can wait here, and it can go in the main, it can go up there, it can hit your third base if you take the triangle. There's so many different drop zones, and you don't really have a way of dealing with it. So Widowmine drops can be very pesky. Raven Harass can be very pesky, as can Bio, zipping in and out between these many different attack angles. And that's one of the big advantages that Terran has here. Interestingly, Creator's going to counter that with a Robo-first opening. It's a little far forward, and he's going to just get it scouted straight away. Kind of
VR 开。
I say Robo first.
这个
VR 克莱姆看到了，看到 VR 了。
First, but it's a very quick Robo.
看几兵赢了。
So this is the I'm gonna have scouting version.
4兵赢啊，一波了。
I put the Robo fast enough to build an observer. I could also chrono a warp prism across the map if we want to do a 4-gate blink, which is exactly what he's doing here. Clem's going to be very aware of that 4-gate blink coming out very quickly as a big risk, just due to the Robo timing alone. So I think, I was going to say, I think he'll stop at 1 Widowmine.
防住这波空投之后，直接4比1反打，这一拳是有机会的。
He's going to make defending that 4-gate blink very tough. Clem, he's got that middle of the day light coming in on that young Spaghetti face. Spaghetti? I said Spaghetti like spaghetti. That's amazing. But I feel like he's really got to just get more and more focused. He looks a bit more awake than he did at the start of the series. Clem's never made it to like the semis or the finals of a Pig Fest, and a lot of the time the kind of thing we say is, well, has he just adapted to the time zone? Some of the other players
想绕进去，哎，不敢进去，进去没了，进去没了，后面刷了一个。
我靠，看到了！
不知道有没有注意啊？
肯定注意了呀，他都往那边走了，肯定注意了呀。回城呀！啊，他不管吗
？It's undefended. It's completely undefended right now. Yet Clem is over-respecting. Oh, Creator is playing so greedy. Creator's literally left nothing at home. He's like,
他用使徒来防，然后正面各种跳，这波还是很有威力的。这波，克莱姆已经知道了，正面2个地堡。有点多啊！你坦克架过来，他强硬可以
建筑学有点意思哦。
建筑学没用，
但没用，他可以装。
太多了，
难受了，难受了，难受了。家里面反正被炸了，就这样了。妈的，跟你拼的呀！
一个跳一个跳。
哎，他其实我觉得 Creator 如果刚才上去的时候再刷一排兵，可能就打死了。
对他可能在管家里面嘛。
对他管家里面2颗雷去了。如果刚才管得好一点，对吧？进去再刷一排兵，直接打死在里面。这个坦克要往后架一点。
往后架我就走呀，干嘛？你坦克又撑不到我。
对，关键是他在这里可以刷排兵，直接跳坦克呀。
对，你只要赶坦克收，我就干你。
我靠，这白打建筑了，在这里。
啊，收了。
好难受啊，克莱姆。
怎么说？再往后再退一步吗？
没，再退一步，再退一步，再退一步。
往上面，
再退一步。
往这个右上角抹上去。
其实往右边走是最好的呀。
对啊。
对吧？往右边走，然后找机会往前一跳，可能就打死了。
We've seen Clem play safe like that before, but today he does not seem to have his safety hat on, guys. Someone's got to hit up OH&S, Occupational Health and Safety. They got to get that high-vis vest to keep the Terran player alive here. The Viking barely survives, but so does the Observer.
这跳的没有 Marspace 那么流畅啊。如果是 Marspace， 可能刚才那波就跳死了。第一个坦克那波是最有机会的。
A little bit of that Terran pizzazz with the unburrow micro, but unfortunately his drop's a bit too weak, so he's going to save it. Oh, he manages to save it, but it's of course one hit from death, so a single stalk. Back in. Now this is not as bad as the previous game. Clem is up in workers. He took damage, but remember it was a big commitment from the Protoss. Problem is Protoss still has 15 stalkers out. They're not as damaged as they often are after a 4-gate blink. And it's still a while till stim and shields and the like are coming in. Reactor definitely needs to be going down so we can start medevac production. And he's going to go.
他右上角那个位置还是能抹啊，到现在为止还是能抹。
但是不是奎头有点小心？
你收了，这不跳？
收了可能要被强跳哦。哎。奎头不敢跳，
哎妈，这 OB 真的是看都看到了，
是真的往上跳上去，说不定就打死在那里。
死就不说2个坦克，
这种2个坦克给你吃了呀！你如果是 Max 这种，肯定是往上整的。奎头我感觉是家里面那颗雷给他压力太大了，他所有注意力都在这下面。
There is no way he takes a 4th base and Psystorm right now against anyone else. But he's just like, dude, I'm feeling it. I know I'm in a good position. And oh my god, he's doing the trap drop. Okay, so for those who don't know the trap drop, it is literally a trap, and it was Trap as the first player who I saw do it. You drop 3 Zealots manually, and you save the High Templar. And what Terran does is they grab their SCVs and they click them on this gas. And when all the SCVs are stacked up there, that's when you drop the High Templar and you storm the stacked SCVs. It doesn't work every time, but the trap drop is one of the sickest things ever when it works. Auto turret harass comes in, he's getting some damage. Okay, well done there by Clem. He gets 4 kills. Unfortunately doesn't focus fire there. 5 probes, not too bad. But yeah, definitely the trap drop is so scary. Like the first time I saw that one work, I was in giggles. Because even I, as the observer, didn't see the High Templar in the prison. And Protoss almost always have only Zealots or only High Templar in the Warp Prison. You might be like, well, surely they shouldn't because this is good, but it's actually just this thing, without even realizing it, Protoss players have conditioned Terran to think of that as a Zealot drop or a
就像还要一段时间，我感觉有点拖不出来。这波只能靠硬扛，硬扛有点扛不住。插线过来拖2线其实可以。
搞2个叉，家里面再进去。
但这边还是要靠
不刷了，
还是要靠你。他有闪电啊，那这个不一样了。
闪电进去，正面闪电能量还不够，现在。哦，有了，
还有一把
闪电。
The buyer is going to get gunned down here. The Widow Mines will clean up those Zealots, but not without a lot of friendly fire. Lots of units going down. At the same time, 13 probes have gone down, so actually pretty damn big amount of probes falling here for Creator. Clem seems to be trading okay. The High Templar has been left alive. Clem the Merciful will be his name after this series, guys. That High Templar is killing SCVs. Finally, the Marauders do take it out. Oh, the buyer is very damaged. Oh, Clem's supply was looking so good. The Widow Mines! Oh my！
这个坦克他没有秒，其实是一个很大的失误。
他
怎么没秒坦克？被坦克打爆了，这什么东西啊？
这个坦克全部输出到了。
对呀，他其实刚才不朽上去把坦克点了就好了呀，对吧？他坦克把追猎打爆了。这个操作 Creator 出了大问题了，2-2了。
But that fast 4th base indeed did end up being a little too greedy. Keep in mind, this is a forgeless style. Creator is not playing normal PvT. He thought just getting all the splash damage mixed with crazy Zealot counterattacks would do it. He's trying to go Colossus and Storm and 4 bases, and Clem does punish him. Clem says, no, look, yes, you messed me up a little bit, but I handled it well enough. I wasn't that far behind that you could do all these things at once, even with the Forge skip going on, which was a clever little corner to cut. Widow Mine drop in the back of the main base. Good reaction by Creator, but another Widow Mine in the natural as well. And it looks like Clem will not be going out. 1 to 3. It looks like he's pretty much poised to get us to the game 5 in this first series of Pigfest. And I'd expect nothing less. The winner of this series up against the winner of Trigger Serral later today in a best of 7. And what a way to wake up here for both players, really. Been some knife fights in the dark, some very jagged.
这波打完之后，回头基本上已经是一个败局了。正面最关键的是，他现在有点正面顶不住，就算有双 AOE 在，但别人的这个运输机也顶起来了。核电站呢，直接开了核电站，开掉核电站还能顶一顶。但鬼兵出来了以后啊，你这个基本上也机会就不大了。
It's not. I don't know. Is it the dregs? The dregs of a Protoss economy? Pretty much. It's definitely. It's maybe like that little bit of foam left over from the head in your beer around like the top of the glass.
闪电也没用，现在闪电，它只能合球，合球也会被鬼兵打成弱智。主要还是兵太少，4矿也开不出去。农林数量也不多。你给克莱姆占到这种优势，基本上来说的话。就很难能够翻盘了这个局面，因为他这个爆兵实在太猛了。好了，鬼兵到了之后再打一波，这一波就看怎么守。3个
上一波打完其实就已经没了。你总不可能闪电巨像全部 AOE 打满吧？是不是嘛？战斗人口现在落后30。
And he's just playing very calm. He's like,
EMP 打打就死了。
SCV damage as well. I lost 15, but you lost 45. Just gonna rebuild, keep you on 3 bases, and add the Vikings. I mean, EMPs deal with the Archon Zealot, Vikings deal with the Colossus. Created to get a Viking. Oh, good micro. Really good micro. Sets off a Widow Mine, gets a Marine, and gets a Viking. Really well done.
克莱姆现在就在找一个切入的时间啊，切入的一个点。3个巨象没有闪电 ，EMP 先打起来吧 ，EMP。EMP 呢 ？EMP 并没有打，这巨象多了，你必须就要出这个围巾了。围巾现在5价是不够的，3个巨象，你至少要有8个这个围巾才能够打掉这3个巨象。这克莱姆是不是有点推的有点过了？他在让苦维头膨胀来 A 他。 妈，苦维头不管了呀 ，A 了呀！苦维头不管了 ，A 了 A 了。其实苦维头如果忍住开4矿，不过也很难打，开4矿也很难打，他也就这一波了。拉一个弧形啊，先去打你3矿，你来不来？ 哇靠！这围巾数量，巨象倒了，基本上你的这个部队啊就没有任何的输出了。所有的输出都在集中在这3个巨象里面。我他妈在搞毛甩呀！我靠，这随便甩啊！这波好了，打完就结束了，巨象打完就结束了。这
好了，2比2啊！
我有预感，我感觉回头还是要招中，最后。
He looks nervous. That's fucking panned over, and I'm like, he definitely doesn't. He was just playing proper careful. Alright, guys, game 5 is going to be on Ancient System.
这论坛的这些兄弟他妈的，好气！现在
他们气什么？
啊！他们说我他妈的上了传奇之后瞎鸡巴打，不但没有降分，还在涨分。
没错的呀，这就是黄哥的呀。 他妈，他们懂都不懂，他们懂什么？
我说万一我打上万古了，那不是大家都很尴尬？
不，你这个就有点过了。我觉得你绝对不可能打上万古，黄哥。
慢慢打呀，又不用逼自己。
今年打上万古好不好？
他妈也没几个月呀，我他妈为什么要拼？
今年过年，我说的是过年。
我不要，那我上了有什么好处呢？
你说，
你跪着把征服唱了，
可以啊。
上不了就算了，我本来也很。
他什么东西上不了就算了，你妈的，你这个是不是过了？
我没实力啊！
你让我有赌注，你没赌注，这个是不是有点不公平啊？
我没有实力啊！感谢邱老仙奶 LJ，
这个我都借了，黄哥现在你妈唯唯诺诺，
不，我没有实力啊！哎，这什么比赛啊？马入对 Zero 4万美金是什么比赛？
不知道。
刚才那个图片是什么东西？
感谢裘老仙奶 LJX 法考不过的飞机，感谢兄弟啊！万古，黄哥你想多了，我说实话。
但反正我是感觉现在传奇比统帅还好打一点，轻松的一逼。
我就跟你说的呀，
因为你的队友开始没有那么多傻逼了，你知道吗？
过年呀，跟你说的呀，过年。
虽然也碰得到不太会玩的，但是 大部分都还是会玩的，所以你就没有那么难受。哦，他们在说这个石油杯的比赛。
Yeah, I mean, lurkers against that army isn't really that useful anyways, like we saw here. But I didn't get like critical mass out, I guess. Serral is weak because he never laughing attack first.
我可以好好打的呀，我好好打随便上呀。
上什么上万？
你妈好嗷涨，我好好打。
上万股吗？
不是上万股，我说现在在传奇上分，我好好打，随便上分。
那我就这么说。
老子一手，哎，我一手术士就输不了。
黄哥，我就这么说，如果上了万股，让3天2节跪下来唱征服，好不好？
算了，妈的，你不要把他拖进来。
不，那你说个赌注呀？你说赌注，我接的呀，我说的呀，我接的呀。
但我觉得我肯定上不了，算了。但我说老实话，我术士真的随便上分。我打4号位、5号位术士随便上，只要我的队友不是太蠢，我能允许有1个蠢逼，但不能允许有2个就实在是不行，就1个蠢逼，绝逼能打。我的术士我已经融会贯通了。真的融会贯通，术士。
牛啊！
术士这个英雄真的巨强，而且都不要买那个，妈之前被误导了，之前妈的打术士去买一个那个叫什么隐身斗篷，根本就不需要，你就买那个隐身斗篷，前面第一个就是那个可以隐身的就好了，那可以隐身15秒还是多少？妈隐身斗篷只能隐5秒，反正你放那个也不能走的，你妈的你买个隐身斗篷搞毛，还浪费钱。你就买一个那个隐身的那个暗影护符就好了，那可以隐15秒钟。
Popping on the screen when Cyril's guinea pig dies. John with the 2569 supporting the Pig Fest goal. Thank you so much.
斗篷可以跑，哎，不是你5秒钟，你放那个叫什么巨变的时候，你放巨变的时候，你本来就不能动。你隐身斗篷就隐5秒钟，你用那个暗影护符可以隐15秒。你多出来的钱，你早点出 A 账不香吗？你早点出刷新不香吗？就是不是那么回事嘛？
那我在想，我就问你黄哥，你怎么毛钱呢？
毛钱嘛都好毛的一逼的呀！你妈一个那个链接就把钱毛了呀！妈没事就去刷野，那个刷野快的一批，很快的呀！我就说30分钟前，你妈的蓝杖刷新 ，A 杖刷新，你妈的砸去4个石头人，你妈追着别人干。然后你把技能放完了，你也可以死了就5个石头人。
强啊，黄哥！
哎，就靠谱。关键这个英雄很他妈恶心，打团的时候你找一个角落，他妈的一个砸完石头人连接搞好，然后你就开始放那个巨变，你妈在里面的人你妈想死。
Our Carnival Day was a massive success the other day with Clem playing against an Archon and Scarlet and Estrella playing on some of the wildest maps with teleportation portals and automated turrets and directional cover, like StarCraft with directional cover. It was a bit of a mess. At one point, a lurker healed a stalker. So
你们
definitely
不信
something
就
didn't
算
go
了，
perfectly every time. I'm still not
我到
sure
现在术士未尝一败，不知道怎么输。
but more fun show matches to come as well. But now though,
不愧是黄哥。
serious action.
那上了呀，万股黄哥，既然输不了，上了呀。
让你把那个土豆搞掉。
搞掉了。
我再打几天再回复你好吧，反正也不急，
打
反正过年
几天再回复我。
我打2天我再回复你，好吧？
要回复就现在。
你别慌。啊？
你打2天回复，万一我反悔了呢？
你反悔没关系的，你不接就算了呀。我也不用逼你。
He skipped the orbital to fake him. Oh, he's actually skipping SCV production though, which is suboptimal. You should still be building SCVs, Clem. Oh no, Clem, right? I think if you're gonna do this, I mean, he should get enough damage that it could be worth it. So now, if the first Adept goes across the map, for instance, he's gonna surprise him with like 3 or 4 Reapers. And remember, 3 Reapers is enough to 2-shot probes. So the whole thing here is. A barracks costs 150 minerals. So
我上不了传奇啊，我没有这个实力啊，怎么上传奇？
So it should be obvious the command center is late, but because he skips the orbital, which also costs 150 minerals, he actually is able to trick him, and then he goes 3 racks behind it. So it's going to be a 3 Reaper, 4th Reaper on the way. Does he build a 5th? It's a 5 Reaper opening. Ooh, and he's going to look to catch the Adept. I mean, that's good. Killing the Adept is good. It just there's part of me that
DOTA 这个游戏打着打着你就自然就知道怎么赢。
I think that's more of what happens in Platinum League, not at Clem's level. He's going to lose the Reaper.
开始你慢慢的要去研究一些细节。
But by tagging the Adept shade onto the Reaper, he at least gets a kill.
对，是不是这个道理呢？
我还没有到黄哥这个境界。
So wisely building a shield battery is Creator. He's going to try and fight with this Stalker. And the Reaper's going straight after it. Oh, Clem playing a brave game of StarCraft right now. Very ballsy. Gets himself a probe. There's a Reddit point probe there as well. That Stalker's damaged.
强行跳。
克莱姆
怎么摄像头都没了？ 我研究过细节吗？没有呀。我说你打着打着，你自然就会研究出。我靠，这妈的感觉被操作死了呀！这个，我是的意思，你打着打着，你自然就会有一些细节嘛，你基本功也会越来越好。
这3个，
你就慢慢的就往上。
这3个死神啊，家里面有个电池还好，西瓜那边好像有点照不到。拉一下。又来了呀！我靠。 妈了个鸡，被烧麻了，6个农民，
感觉被烧傻了。
Dude, that is crazy damage, and he's got 3 ranks coming up behind it, which normally is not the best on this map, but that is an insane amount of damage for this early in the game. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he delayed his orbital. He has had a bit less money coming in, a little lower on workers than normal, but he's severely hurt the Protoss income, as well as killing the units that are out so far. Blink and Robo is on the way for Protoss, and there's a missile turret for Clem. Clem, I think, is just kind of going, well, what could I lose to? And I think that's him basically taking some.
直接防一手引刀啊，那么稳。占了便宜就不想让他用任何方式翻盘。
Probably clicking so fast with those Reapers that it did disappear.
上万股就可以开水友赛，开不了。
可以了，
我们水友里面有很多超凡的。
没有，你想你
超凡冠军，
你跟 SED 你上万股的时候，估计 SED 已经超凡了 ，No 总估计已经是冠军了。你们一个冠军，一个超凡，一个万股，对不对？再带 Amos 也是万股啊，再带一个稍微强一点的，好吧？再带个驴哥这种也是超凡还是冠军，你们就可以随便干水友了。 到时候我
为什么不带你呢？
我不配，水平太次。
楼总能不能上冠军啊？楼总练练应该有机会吧？他只要肯练，但是问题是他练那么苦搞毛啊！本楼总又不比别人。 少只手少只眼睛的，他为什么练不上去呢？妈，别人练得上去，他就练不上去。但问题是，他为什么要练呢？再练下去可以挑战收萝卜，挑战不了。他们妈的练了多少年了呀？
They find a probe. They're going to go for the natural now, but that's not going to.
那我也练不上去，太累了练游戏。
By Creator, Creator's all over it. This was a bad start for him. Really good start for Clem. And look at that, the Marines can't find anything. They have to take even more steps just to get that one stalker.
巨像来了。
想顶吗？不敢顶，
有立场顶不了。
运输机都没有，巨像扫一下就直接那个了，直接红血了。孙哥星际零上5000嘛，孙哥随便上5000，
上不了了，没实力。
孙哥随便上，稍微练一练。现在不练，只是为了接地气。孙哥他妈的要想练上去，
有点在第一节开，我靠！
我靠，这样强顶吗？顶掉了，核电站点了，
没用。第二个巨像，
但是第二个巨像来了，算了。
The man literally just picks up a baguette, charges into the police station, and starts whacking the police officers armed with guns over their head with a very stiff, very stale baguette. At the end of the day, it doesn't work out. Yes, he got a Colossus and a battery. That's not worth how many units he's thrown away there. This is not the best play.
我们两个赌谁先上万股，对方就跪着唱征服，怎么样？这你妈！
那这个赌约要多久呢？
就是无限期下去嘛，这个赌约就是他妈的总要死一个是吧？那有没有可能我跟他妈的打到最后一盘，我们两个就等到对方，然后最后一盘我们一起渡劫？一起渡劫，一起上。
There's no Ghost Academy. There's just Vikings building. The lack of a Ghost Academy tells me that Clem, it could be a money issue where he feels he can't afford it yet, but it could also be, well, I'm just going to kill you with Bio Viking, right? Like, I'm kind of stuck. Let's just go attack into attack into attack. And you gotta remember, as cool as the 3-Rex follow-up is to this opening, and as successful as the opening was, 3-Rex is never going to be the killer move on a giant map like Cistern. It could be on a smaller one, and Clem needs to remember to play this map.
哎呀，我今年年初的时候我就说过，过年的时候我就说过，我说我们今年这样练下去，我们年底的时候所有人都会上传奇。现在只剩下孙哥和夏一可两个拖后腿的了。
哎，我没
年底的时候你们看吧，孙哥绝对能上去，夏一可我就不敢保证了。
不，那还有赤小兔呢，赤小兔就不是人。
赤小兔算了，放弃掉。
哈哈。
赤小兔他妈是真上不了。
Starts an armory and a second engineering, but he's just so poor he can't afford ghosts just yet. Like, he'll queue them up on the next round most likely, but without ghosts, Archons are very scary, and already the first couple of Archons coming in. I like that he's doing a bit of split dropping his Clem. In this scenario, you want to hit and run. You do not want to.
啊，下一可是上去掉下来了嘛，那么惨。
好哥，你不要说别人惨，妈的，不要当你有一天你也上去掉下来了，跟他妈江不 king 一样回家。
不可能，不可能！我跟你说，绝对回不了家。我就像江不 king， 你到了一定的实力之后，你永远不会回家，一个道理。我这几天体验了一下，我至少在上面体验了30盘了吧，在传奇局体验了30盘，发现越打越轻松，分还嗷嗷往上走。根本不可能回家。再经过昨天我还跟 No 总对了一下线，我发现你妈超凡的也就那么回事儿。这个对线一点都不行。To pick off units for free, but creative Stalker Micro is kind of matching him. The lack of a battery there, no overcharge, is part of why it's a little hard for creative to dance in and out. Now the Ghosts are here as well. I mean, Clem dancing on the edge of a very dangerous situation, but they do say his aggression is his superpower, and he's got a 4th command center coming up at a similar timing to the 4th Nexus. He does manage to start. 当然，那必须要跳起来。昨天赢了还不跳，那难道要等输了再跳吗？那不变小丑了？
那是不是可以把
赢了当然要跳，
可以把阿夏夏头拧下来了？
那这个拧不了，还是理智的。
Part of why Creator is so reliant on cannons, and actually he only has a cannon on his 3rd. He doesn't have any on the top side of the map, so Widowmine drops.
哎呀，昨天 No 总那个猴子，你妈的被割反补，已经反补炸了。5个兵上来，第一轮5个，哎，第一波是几个兵啊？4个兵是吧
？5个吧，没有4个兵的说法吧？
就一轮是4个兵还是5个兵吧
？4个。
对呀，第一轮4个兵全部反补掉 ，No 总直接炸了。还把他杀了2次。
EMP plus tags a few stalkers. Widowmine drop comes in at the same time. Creator is not watching. Uh-oh.
哎呦，有反应！
要不是你们推得快，昨天你们遭中了，我跟你们说。
He doesn't go for the main because the main doesn't have that many workers in it this late in the game. Funnily enough, the natural's actually mining out pretty fast.
还算他们他妈的有智力。
Just pull a probe over to that side is Creator. And actually, Clem is max. Clem's ready to go. Clem's going to get forward. He's already going down. And if he loses his Colossus, he loses his ranged firepower. Another Colossus getting dangerously low.
哇，这个核电站真的能加啊！这核电站。
That Colossus goes down.
这些围巾烦了一局，各种甩。你这部队其实回头这个部队没什么实力的，白球就是
白球 EMP 打完就没了。
对 ，EMP 打就结束了。
These widow mines have not been cleared. There we go. Stalker Observer comes forward. Creator does not want to go down without a fight, but it does feel like he doesn't have much progression. Even though he's got his 4th up, there's no gas there. He's only on 68 probes. He's going to try to get out to a 5th base. He's got to
别人要解说的，算了。我想先把 DC 的球爆了，不知道可不可以。
Because that's really good if the game goes for another 20 minutes of non-stop trading. But as it is, you're already up in workers. And I feel like Creator is thinking about doing some sort of big push at some point. You don't want to get caught out without a large enough.
给他安排几个妹子，妈把他的手打断。
Creator stalling out in the middle of the map and deciding, actually, I'll take a 5th. I'll take a 2nd robo. I'll go for 3/3 upgrades. So Creator maybe not planning that attack that I thought. Looks like he will try to limp his way into the disruptor game. He's not getting there the fastest though. And with Fusion Core on the way, 2 starports pumping out. Libs is going to be absolutely astoundingly powerful. Range Libs, one of the most powerful late game in this matchup. And unless Protoss has some carriers or something like that, Stalker's only answer to them is mobility. Sidestorm can help. Archons can help if you catch those libs on siege, but normally it's all
我觉得 Creator 可能要一会儿被 EMP 融化掉他这个部队。我说实话。这白球太多了，没有用。EMP 直接打完 ，EMP 打完，然后靠围巾把巨象清了。但他围巾稍微少了一点点，我是觉得稍微少了一点。
够也够了，8个围巾差不多了。
自爆球有没有满贯？
没有满，
没有满贯。
8个围巾打2个巨象，
也有输出，
随便打。
那也是。好了，白球过来就是 EMP 直接清场。
3个巨象也随便打，你现在没有核电站，你这面就挡不住了。
直接清场了呀 ！EMP 打完平 A， 巨象最多也就输出3轮。
他妈这个回头真的是打到最后帮别人打工就等于。
Gonna catch up on those upgrades in the near future, and once you have +2 liberators, guess what? They do 85 damage.
你现在居然根本就上不去。
摄像头怎么没了？我也不知道啊，他摄像头关掉了，可能是 Clamp 的摄像头没了。
最精彩的部分就这样没了。3个围巾其实是也可以甩，也可以甩。它运输机多，只要加得起来，对吧？
But shaving some important Terran units off. Ahead 1,000 resources in the units lost is Clem. Being upper based and ahead in the resources lost, it looks very promising for the Frenchman. And I do feel like ultra late game on even terms, Creator's probably going to be better than Clem, more practiced. But in this sort of game, where there is a tempo advantage for Clem, you can see he's so good at using it. The way his army's rotating around different areas, denying bases, and he's so good at just chipping away at the Zealots and the Archons and pulling away and not eating the disruptor shots, not eating the big Colossus volleys. Snipes even going down in the Zealots.
正面感觉有点扛不住啊，就像暴露在外面了，就看自爆球了，第一个没炸到，居然是肯定全倒。第2个也没炸到呀，没用。
But more disruptors marching forward here. They're trying to throw their shots.
炸不到，这自爆球完全炸不到。
Who now finds himself 3,000 resources ahead in units lost. It shows he just widened the gap by another 2,000 resources. He's instantly remaxed. Creator is not. Creator has a lot of stalkers in the mix, and those stalkers are brittle units. 5 liberators building right now. There is a 3rd starport up on the natural, so he can technically build 6. He's also remembering to replace Medivacs, though, as obviously if you get caught without Medivacs, that's very bad. Oh, Juicy Ball does get 5 units, including 2 Ghosts and a Marauder. It's only a small army over here right now. Clem is up on a very nice base count. He's also got more command centers he can turn into orbitals. Notice he pulled his Vikings away. This is one of my favorite moves that Clem does in late game. He always pulls his Vikings back after killing Colossus. He'll usually land them to defend the base that's getting the most Zealot run-bys, repair them up, And then when he sees the Protoss rebuilding the Colossus, because they're seeing the Terran army, oh, the Vikings aren't in it. I must have killed all the Vikings. You rebuild 3 or 4 Colossus, you think suddenly they're a really good unit again, and then guess what? Oh, he just brings
解放者成型
摄像头感觉索然无味啊。
解放者成型了之后啊，那这个克莱姆就随便打了，回头解决不了解放者。他完全没有，他除了追猎，其他没有东西可以解决解放者。但追猎虽然又不够，贸然跳上来就是被各种爆。回头已经疯了，他还在按巨像，不停了，已经停不下来了，这巨像。解放者现在就架一个位置，架到了，回头就记了。哎呦，这个再往前再架一步啊！这个位置要打了，这位置啊！哇靠！
But man, those liberators slaughter the Vikings' land. The libs sieging every which way. Clem doesn't even know which way to focus them. He's literally just spraying lib zones with rapid fire almost randomly. But I think it's a good enough fight. Any fight.
没用了，拼完之后自爆球巨像全部倒。你没有其他科技的兵种了。
I am so impressed, guys. This is really cool to see Clem fighting back up.
你 BGB 又怼不过别人。
I'm kind of upset though for Creator because he just had such good builds at the start of the series. The Blink and the Psystorm, the friggin' I'm gonna skip the Observers. I mean, he had some amazing.
克莱姆很抽啊，收一拳回去。
Production to shut down the Cyclone Viking push that Clem loves to do. Really well done. Creator's in such a bad spot. He's just been desperate to find engagements that he can maybe win. And so that last fight, he kind of felt I kind of have to fight because if I give up this ground, I lose my economy. He's kind of getting cornered into. You can look at these fights individually and say, why are you making bad fight decisions? But it's a cumulative effect.
这设置解放太烦了。
Expansions and pressured him so much. Creators like I can't just keep running.
这种除非是满贯啊，至少要中3个满贯，这局面才能打。
Kind of standing to lose the fight more than anything else. He's still got disruptors. He's got a storm drop on the right. Clem was witness to some of the most brutal Psystorm drops the other day on this map. He got his army obliterated by it, but I think because of that, Clem's even more on his toes against it. And even though it was a good storm, Creator is looking very poor. Clem is looking incredibly rich. +3 ship weapons is on the way as well. And I'm telling you, I think Clem, he started this series. His baguette may have been a little bit soggy, a little bit too fresh.
疲于奔命，现在没办法，你解放者往哪边走，我就回头的兵就要往哪边走，不然守不住。只要被架到这个矿那个位置架住，那要么就放弃这片矿，要么就打的话就 GG。解放者还是真的太多了，那么多解放者。
Storm goes down. Good battery overcharge, but it only lasts for so long. And Storm landing on the bottom.
电还是电的还可以。
Ooh, okie dokie. Okay, the Storm does do pretty well. Stalkers try to come behind the Liberators. Secret Stalkers from behind take out 2 Liberators. Army on the south doing what it can as well. The Viking Bio.
好，这波能爆掉。哇靠！哎，这追猎，他不停在秒解放者，其实没有多少追猎了。好了，你后面结束了之后，直接反架过来，追猎直接跳脸，看能不能把解放者全部解决掉。
这个感觉这个反架有点太早了点架的。
他必须要架，他必须要架了。
哎，
不行，还有2个解放，这解
放者
者
打光，还可以，解放者太猛了。
炸倒是炸了一下。
他这解放者吃舒服了，完了，这波打完的话 ，Creator 没兵了呀。
可以记了。
那 Creator GG 了。
叹了一口气。
不行呐 ，Creator。
So, guys, we're quickly going into Clem's comms here. Apparently, he had something to say at the end of that game.
还是差了那么一点点。
Oh no! My soundboard's not programmed on my new computer. Damn it! I was trying to use my how does that baguette face line from the last.
哭本，他也没什么沮丧的，因为这比赛其实就线上赛的话，他也没有那么的重要。其实对于Creator来说，
那倒是啊。
Bad luck to Creator, guys. That was a pretty epic series to start things off. I was like. the start of the series, I was like, oh god. Clem like, I kill you. Creator like, I kill you. I'm like, you know, and then Creator killed him again. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be, and then yeah, got a bit more back and forth towards the end. Pretty nice. How do you play against Liberator's late game? Yeah, he didn't have enough money. So Darlo, basically, Creator had already lost the game at that point because Clem had, you meant to have extra bases as Protoss, and Terran's meant to have less. So Creator had less bases than him, and Clem hit the range libs. So basically, if you're down on bases, down on supply, and, you know, and then they get the range libs, there's not much you can do there other than hope that he gets out of position. You kind of need to, like, you can split your army into 2 parts and try and basically fight where the libs aren't, or try to jump on him when the libs aren't in position. You can use Psy Storm, so when he unsieges his libs, they get very clumped up when they're moving around, and you can catch them with surprise Psy Storms. You can definitely go Tempests to pick them off from out of range, and use Disruptors and Storm to, like, zone if the ground army comes forward to deal with you. But he basically was too far away, stuff, and Clem just did really well.
我换一下，不是我的问题，别急。
Are we just using the other
我换一下。
Yep, and that's using the OBS camera, right? Cool.
他那个左边有点挡不住，我靠。
Remember, he will now be waiting in the wings after this match to go up against.
换成这样。
Clem. All right.
这样就挡住了，对，这样就挡住了。这样就全部挡住了。好。
Hey mate, hold on 1 second.
把他的面换一换。
这。
不是，本来
Sorry guys.
本来是我给你们看，本来是这样的呀，我现在把它面换一换，就等于就朝向换了一换，这样不就好了吗
？All right, mate. Can you talk again?
Hello. Is that good?
I still hear an echo on it.
Oh, could it be me? Oh, because Okay, is it better now?
Oh, keep talking.
Hello. Is it better?
I think that sounds better.
1, 2. Yeah, because I was unmuted on
the camera app, right?
Website. Yeah.
No worries. He's muted himself on OBS anyway, so it's fine now. Okie doke.
干嘛？这有什么问题吗
？Bring the mic up nice and close to your face, please. Congratulations, mate. Appreciate it. Sorry for the tech. There we go. Hello. Congratulations, mate. GG, well played.
咱采访我。
还要采访一下他。
Chat was very worried for you. A bit of a save there in that series. Things didn't start too well. You looked very confused at the end of game 2. So what was going through your head there?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I was kind of confused because in my mind I didn't really do like anything like different than I should have, but I still got like I moved pretty hard there. But then I took a look at the replay and I rewinded and I was like, okay, he has no robo, no forges, so that was like extremely greedy. Like it was like a very greedy all-in, you know. And yeah, I feel like it's just very easy to die to this kind of push if you don't really see it coming.
他们这样的话，每场获胜都应该是要采访的。
对的。
So, in that scenario, do you think if you realize that's happening, do you even like lift your third base and just like throw an armory down straight away? Like.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think if I realize he doesn't have any robo, I can just throw down an armory as soon as I like realize it, pretty much. And then even go for like mine drop or stuff like that. But also my drop in the main base was also maybe what cost me the game, because I wasn't like that far from defending at home, but I just didn't really quite have enough.
他为什么采访的时候眼睛不停的在你妈的左右在那边搞动嘛？我靠。
He probably would have went a little bit better.
Cool, yeah. I think it was a clever build, right? You could tell he kind of came in.
有没有他可能在看屏幕？他也是个双屏。
这倒有可能，
对不对？这个是有可能吧。
Was interesting. Everyone goes Phoenix. Your Reapers did good damage, right? You looked great. Your 3 Reaper Hellion. You saw Phoenix.
他紧张个毛！你妈的，他这个选手都已经采访过多少次了。
You get there, he has like 1 or 2 more Phoenix than they normally have, 3 Adepts and a Stalker, and he just kind of jumps on you and kills all your stuff. So, was that just you were expecting a robo, I guess, or was this just? I felt like maybe he chronoed once or twice more into the Stargate and just had no gaps in his Phoenix production, right?
Yeah. Maybe he kind of anticipated the push a little bit, but also I think it was just a bad call by me. Like in my mind, it sounded good. Going for the Cyclone push after doing some damage with like the Reaper Hellion, which went pretty good. I killed like an Adept, I killed some probes. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a little pressure. And if he takes an early Nexus, then I can like deny it or at least take a like somewhat good trade. But it turned out he just like had like too many Phoenixes and Adepts.
他们这个播舞还是算打满了的，采访完，然后下一场开始都估计要8点钟了，算打的比较久的了已经。
So I didn't have enough marine production early enough to do a push like this. So if I don't have like enough marines, they can just leave the Cyclone with the Phoenixes, and then the Adepts can take care of like the few marines there is. So in the end, that was just a bad idea by me. That sounded good in my head, but he actually wasn't.
Awesome. 3 Reaper just delayed that reactor and that marine production a little bit too long. But at the end of the day, we started to stabilize a bit. I loved your build at the end in Game 5, dude. It's so funny because I was like, oh, cool, 2x Reaper is such a safe opening. And then I'm like just kind of watching him block.
这种语言通真的还是有好处的呀。打完随便聊。
你不是废话吗？那咋办嘛？我们比赛他过来打完，谁能跟他英文去聊嘛？还要找个翻译什么的。
Oh yeah, definitely. The game was always very good for me. I think after the opening, it got a little bit scary at some point.
你看他们都是架一个麦克风，我也想去架个麦克风算了。
你去试试看。
我架个麦克风，这样的话我再搞一个那种，我都不搞个入耳的，我搞个那种骨传导的耳机。
骨传导
的话我就，骨传导就是不用塞到耳朵里面，你就夹在耳朵旁边就可以听得到声音的。那这样的我耳朵就不难受了。我要去加个麦克风。
Yeah. But I hadn't seen it with the second barracks in the main, the Reaper version, and I was like, oh, this is like a way less all-in version. This is actually really cute. So, I love that, man. Afterwards, you did 3 racks, which I guess is maybe not as strong on that map, even though it's like a very good follow-up because you already have 2 barracks. And then what was? Oh yeah, it's because he.
传导漏音。
不是
我这个声音，我只要听到孙哥说话就好了呀。我耳朵不舒服呀，戴这种大的耳机。
Obviously, sometimes you got to do those high-risk decisions. What do you think in hindsight?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was. Like when I did it, I was like, okay, getting a Colossus is nice, even if I lose some bio. It's probably still like alright. I think it was alright in the end. I would have to watch the replay to see if he exactly was, if he was worth.
Clem 这个麦克风挺贵的，舒尔的。
But what happened there?
一看就挺贵。
I loaded too many racks, like a few seconds.
多少钱，黄哥
？Towards his main base, and then he said.
据你了解
，2000块钱肯定要的。
2000块钱
，1-2000块钱肯定要的。舒尔的麦克风挺贵的。我其实是一直想研究一个，就比如说我架一个麦克风，然后我就用那个功放，就我2个大音箱，你妈听你的声音。但是我又怕有回音传进来，你知道吗？
有可能会有回音的，
对吧？就有回音传进来就很难受。然后他们说去搞一个那个什么指向性的麦克风就好了。对啊，就是那种定向的麦。但是我又不知道定向的麦什么好。就是什么定向麦好呢？
I kind of knew it was going to be for gambling, but where I messed up was that my tank positioning in the main base was really bad, and he could snipe it.
Oh, you've cut out for a second. Sorry. Can you hear me? Oh, what's going on?
试一试就知道了。对啊，我就是觉得这个回音效果很难受，你知道吗？
What's happened? Test, 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 test. Can you hear me?
怎么突然感觉他没声音了？我靠！
不知道呀。
这你妈好尴尬。
Sorry, guys.
问 M4 就没有
完了，没声音了。
真的吗？M4 就不戴耳机的吗？我问问 M4 他怎么搞的。哎，对哦 ，M4 好像就没戴耳机。他好像就用的是那个。我问问他，妈了个鸡的，他这个麦是什么麦？我去问问 M4。
So you were just saying, yeah, like basically, you positioned your tank just a little bit too far forward.
Yeah.
Do you think
he's not? I think he could have done a little bit. I'm not sure where he cut, but I was saying that I feel like after stabbing the first tank, I was in a lot of trouble, and I feel like he could have done a little bit more with the focus there.
Do you think it's worth in that scenario when you're down, kind of wanted to just go single widow mine drop rather than double?
M4 用的入耳的吗
？Like 20 seconds earlier.
Yeah, it definitely can be. But I'm starting.
它是无线的吗？它用的是。
To really anticipate the for gaming, I was going like single widow mine drop and then faster tanks. But these days I've kind of been liking the two widow mine drop.
Yeah, you don't want to be too predictable.
我去问问他，我麦克我去微信上问问。
Like you said, honestly, if your tank was a bit further back, like it would have been fine. I was actually saying it when I was casting it. I was like, when this tank pops out, if he puts it like back here, he's okay. But if he sieges it straight away, it's gonna die straight away. And you sieges it straight away, and I was like, oh no! And then he just went straight for it. And I was like, that's rough. Hats off to you for holding, because that was a very scary situation. You had like 30 seconds without a siege tank. Lost a few SCVs, but at the end of the day, you actually maxed out the scenario. So really
你说这个就5090的显卡什么时候能出来？
不知道呀。
那你觉得我是不是应该换个电脑？
无线耳机加麦克风吗？当时，哎，我研究一下，我去。妈了个鸡，实在不行找人帮我搞。
那华哥，我是不是应该换个电脑了？
换呀！
那我还
拉满呀，
孙哥。应该等5090出来呢。
你说的没错呀，你现在把你的笔记本拿出来，都比你的这个台式机好。你就把笔记本接在你的显示器上用，不就完了吗？
不是，我现在台式机用的好好的，为什么拿笔记本出来呢？
你不是反正都要换吗？
upset and then you managed to switch it on us and get a very exciting couple of games. So you'll be waiting in the wings for the winner of Cyril and Trigger. Thank you so much, mate, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Alright, we're gonna hang up on him there, no worries. And we're gonna be getting the new players in momentarily, everybody. Thank you so much for the love, everybody. Clemente Chalamet, yep. Very handsome, kind of fine-featured young gentleman.
下一盘是 Trigger 对 Zero。
I can definitely see the parallels. A young
说我们打 DOTA 跟星际他妈5090风扇都转不起来。你妈的！
哎，其实没有，我是觉得没有必要去买这种5090这种显卡，或者没必要去追求那么高的显卡。我有很多的兄弟，我相信都还在用这种，比如说1080系列的都有，你信不信？
肯定的呀。
960，你妈的960是不是也稍微有点过了？730都有。
有的呀，不需要买的呀。他们又如果不玩那种新的游戏，就比如说打星际什么的，不用买好的电脑的呀。
我觉得1080是完全够用了，我说实话。
我靠，他们怎么换了个人来播啊？
这个是应该是个妹子吧？
I mean, I would always go and like hop on and cast tournaments when I was eliminated, or like, hey, can I open a cast a series? And you know, you're hanging out and stuff. It's only like you need to actually be a true passion lord pro gamer who's actually good at the game and actually has high expectations, standards, works hard. That's why Sarah looks angry when he loses. You know? Whereas me, I'm like, oh, I didn't manage to like fall down some steps into like winning.
啊，那看来我觉得我现在这块显卡在我们直播间兄弟中，妈已经遥遥领先了，我靠！黄哥能超越你的可能没有几个人。
什么东西啊？
你的这块显卡。
Love Rainer, but it needs new hairstyle.
不显卡不就已经拉满了吗？
对啊。
This is when I just dyed my hair blonde. I liked it. You don't like it, sucks to be you, but I liked it. Many people liked it. My girlfriend liked it.
我2080。
Then you liking it? I'm sorry.
对，你们都他妈的怎么都是那种什么960、730这种，我是不是妈遥遥领先嘛
？Since that nerf, he's obviously been several steps lower than Dark and Central. Overrated, don't at me. 2 months later, won the biggest tournament of the year. Congratulations for your comment. When Rare takes the game seriously, which is very rare, he ascends to another tier. But I think people confuse taking the game seriously and like giving it all. Like those are two very different things. I always take the game seriously.
3080钛，那有点牛逼，好吧
？You know, had some banter or anything. I wanna win. So I always take the game serious, but sometimes I give it all and sometimes I don't. So I think you're having.
妈，现在2080卖多少钱了？现在？
I feel like Rainer's only goal was to beat Sarah.
2080钛，我看
Now
看
it's
啊。
just dog shit these days.
2080
Too many girls in his brain. Yeah, man. I wake up every day with a new way on how to beat Sarah, and that is my only purpose in life. It's why I keep going. You know, this is my only goal and my only fuel. But I think you got something wrong. You're very right on that part, where I just wake up and I think about Sarah every day. But it's not too many girls in my brain. It's just too many boys.
2080全是矿机啊！哎，怎么突然
切了？他们在切。
Why does every picture of Sarah look like his Winnie Big died sad boy? Said Jock House. It's just well, actually, an old photographer of mine. Well, he used to take a lot of photos of me, but actually, my photographer used to say I had a resting bitch face. So it's just. That's just I always normally.
主要是我是觉得，就我现在用电脑嘛，我这台我觉得我现在玩的游戏都毫无压力啊，也快的一逼啊！现在。
They want you to be a bit mad. I mean, I don't look that sad in that. Do I?
我也不是那种你妈的很追求那种，就很追求性能这种玩家呀！我靠。 就一般的往上点的就可以了，我从来都是这个心态，好吧？
This is like a CBP comment because that's the only time that will make sense. But yeah, I do agree. Lurkers in CBP sounds like a big mistake. It's rulers first is usually the best.
黑神话出了就该换了，到时候再说，好吧？
Mainly just because there's no time for Pro Lords, or I feel like there's no time for Pro Lords, just because that switch takes a bit more time than Pro Lord, than a Lurker switch. I mean.
对，打个多打星际或者打个你妈 Apex 这种，他妈你需要多好的显卡吗？我靠。
Long to push for some reason, but I think if I went Pro Lords and he would have pushed earlier, I would have died, just as I did here. But. Yeah, I mean, lurkers against that army isn't really that useful anyways, like we saw here. But I didn't get like critical mass out, I guess. Serral is weak because he never laughing attack first. Always wait enemy approach him first. He got no skill like Korean players.
现在的电脑专门推流，再买个5090打游戏。他妈有5090的显卡吗？现在我靠！
没有呀。
对呀，哪有5090的显卡？你们在说什么？现在最牛逼的是4090的吧？
对呀。
usually you're always supposed to be winning.
5090还没出呢。
The losing play, but obviously that's exactly not how it works. But still, if everyone was playing optimal, then that would be the case. So. Yeah,
现在这个 CPU 是13代的是吧，黄哥
？Oh, that's against Maru and.
还是13代 CPU 是吧？英特尔。
I attacked so much against Solar, didn't I? And against Terran, how do you even?
13，哎，13900啊，对啊，13代啊，13代啊，现在。14代好像没什么提高吧？
那有什么意义呢？
I didn't see them in my main base.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Good to see a little bit of fun interaction between very.
对的嘛，14代好像是挤牙膏的呀，就没什么区别啊，跟那个13900 KS。
How you doing, Raider? What's up? We've got the Italian stallion in the chat. Good to see you, mate, guys.
AMD， 哎，你现在这台就是 AMD 的。
哎呀，他们这种挤牙膏太他妈恶心了，真的。
你现在就是 AMD 的是吧？
我不是呀，我英特尔的呀。
不，你也不要说挤牙膏恶心，黄哥，我说这么跟你说，他妈的，他们如果一次性全部搞完的话，那他们后面还搞个毛啊？没有那么多技术创新的呀。
哎呀，就是没人卷他们呀！我靠。等什么时候我们国内的光刻机什么的都搞好了，你妈卷死他们！我操，让他们不挤牙膏。
牛啊，黄哥！
是的呀，到时候让他们知道你妈的什么叫卷。
Egyptian Snow Panda with the 1069. Thank you everyone who's been supporting so far. Melenjo, Marsbar, a few subscribers as well.
什么叫不可能嘛？我靠！你想想那个以前做不出来那个叫什么储存芯片的时候，他妈的一个移动硬盘，一个那个叫什么？你家里面的那个固态硬盘要多少钱？现在要多少钱？是不是这个道理？妈，以前三星你妈的只有他们能做的时候，妈动不动什么仓库就淹水了，仓库被火烧了。你妈自从我们做出来之后，你看他这妈仓库有没有失过火嘛？最近你妈这么久了，怎么没看他们失火了？妈就那么回事啊！我靠，你妈的他火也不烧了，你妈水也不淹了。妈，英特尔跟 AMD 也是一样的呀！妈，以后我们干出来了，我靠，让你他妈挤牙膏！
哎呀，妈个鸡！
感谢资深技术宅超级小色的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。不是这个东西，我只是说我希望他们能搞出来嘛，是不是嘛？至于最后搞不出来，这个也不是我能决定的呀。我就希望他们搞出来，那我们这些用户，
我怎么感觉有点丢针呢？黄哥，你这感觉
他在搞那个，他在搞摄像头
啊，我感觉有点丢针。
他在搞摄像头，所以有点那个。不是你们不要管搞得出来搞不出来，反正他妈的我就觉得，现在他们这种挤牙膏我们这用户很难受。就是希望有更多的人，也不管是不是我们国产的搞出来，反正我就希望有更多的人进来跟他们竞争，然后我们用户就可以更爽。
那是肯定的呀！感谢资深技术宅超级小色的飞机，感谢兄弟啊！
Now, Trigger's come across with an early probe, and he's actually forced Serral to take the third base. Serral does not like that. Serral likes to open 15 hatch 15 pool when he thinks the opponent's going to block him. So he did not expect Trigger to block him on this map, and he does pay the price having to take the third base. This is not the end of the world, but it's important because I feel like Serral is a man who prepares very well for his series. He comes up with very intelligent ways of making sure he gets small advantages and he builds upon those advantages to really take advantage of his opponents. So
这把是没有任何悬念的，这应该是妈的大哥哥干小弟弟的这种比赛了。这个 Trigger
随便干啊，
完全打不过
Trigger 打 Zero 没什么机会，
完全没有机会。
Okay, now I'm a little further at it. It's those things that he stacks up to make Serral so bloody hard to deal with in this matchup. But the fact that Trigger's already disrupted him, he's got a Depths on the way, he's got a Stargate coming up. These are all very good
爷爷看孙子好吗？我靠！
as he goes into honestly an impossibly hard match. Don't get me wrong. It's very unlikely Trigger can take out Serral here. He is a massive underdog. He is our last qualifier for the entire tournament. He got the very 9th slot. He had to play a little single elimination bracket with a few other players that had all been eliminated in the final qualification mode to get that last spot that Oliveira
VS 开
vacated out.
我真觉得 VS 开打 Zero 一点机会都没有。他你妈防 VS 防的太好了。 细节全部拉满，
你直接说这个 Trigger 打Zero 就没机会就好了。
要想点那种奇奇怪怪拼一枪的战术才有机会。
Yet he went and changed his sleep schedule just to get ready for this tournament. He's been waking up at the crack of dawn every day, practicing at that time just to be switched on.
他不挤牙膏，难道你每一代都会买？不，都不是挤牙膏的问题，是希望竞争，然后把价格打下来，对不对？你现在不每代都买，是因为它每代都很贵。但到时候它 CPU 竞争到100块一个的时候，你是不是每代都买了？ 是不是这个道理嘛？你现在觉得贵，你所以不是每代都买。以后等他妈的竞争到100块一个，白菜价，每个都买。
I'm imagining we'll start an evolution chamber within the next 10 seconds in this main base, but the Oracle's keeping him busy. And oh, he finally does get a drone. Serral very good though with a spore trick and an extractor trick. Only loses one drone, does get the Oracle damaged. Trigger has to back off with the second Oracle as well. Now that Evo chamber is being delayed a little by the distraction, but the Oracle does go down now at about 4th on the natural. Gonna go for fast melee up against Twilight and Forge. Now, some of you may have seen the interview with Trigger that we, or little sections of it that we've played so far earlier today. But the problem Trigger's been facing is he said, look, I came out.
他这个 VS 也是直接转地面的。
对，基本上就他也想好烧不到东西的。
烧不到，完全烧不到。
先是转地面。
Players prepare for him now. It's they don't just he's not an unknown name. They know his
哪里贵了？不要乱说！你妈现在他妈只要他妈说贵就是这句话是吧？
你妈的
哪里贵了？你不要乱说。
那我只能说，这个已经成为一个梗了。我靠！你妈的，这绝壁已经成为一个梗了。
你妈了个鸡的，我他妈真遭不住了。
That being said, Serral is on 66 workers versus 56, a very good start for him. Blink, Robo, extra gas is on the way.
好了，这边 Trigger 还6分钟压一下啊，压的还不错，这个timing，虽然压的兵不是很多。
Serral gonna open up with a Spire. If you can surprise a Protoss with Mutalisks, it sets the tone for the entire series. Ooh, nice catch on those Adepts on the right side as well. They ain't gonna get nothing, just 1 or 2 Zerglings. Stalkers on the left ain't gonna get
这种战术不是被他妈的这种一攻的小狗完爆吗？然后飞龙转出来，龙狗，那他打一波就没了。他妈他布林克还没好就出门了。
马刚出门直接被包了一波，他这波出门一定要先知护的，不护一定会被狗直接全吃。就是你这一套体系 ，Zero 是完爆的，他所有都有针对你怎么打？你是出追猎他就爆狗，对吧？你是出提速差他就爆蟑螂。 他所有都有针对，都有应对。骑手再转一波飞龙，你怎么办？你家里面转自爆球，不是被飞龙又打爆？
哦呦，这条狗先去把这个陷阱踩掉，牛逼！
starting to take down maps and have close series with guys like Solar in the weekly cups. The fact that he started doing that, you know, Cyril knows, hey, this guy's won some important maps for us in WTL and throughout the team league. And against everyone, Cyril doesn't hold back. He swings out there with big punches. He's got to 8 gas. Trigger has no idea about this. And if these Mutalisks can surprise him, what's he got? 11 Blink Stalkers against what's going to be 12 Mutalisks. He's going Charge, Colossus, thinking about Archons. Trigger's trying to get a little bit more map vision. But the Mutalisks are sneaking down that left side of the map, and the observer.
今天叶老师要去和 Sad 他们唱歌，鹌鹑哥哥去，鹌鹑哥哥还在北京，他怎么去啊？
对，今天
鹌鹑哥哥现在去不了，鹌鹑哥哥
今天好像是
这2天他在北京。
谁的生日？
哦。
鹌鹑哥哥在北京，去不了。好了，飞龙切进去了。
这个飞龙阻止不了，其实可以直接骑这些追猎的脸的。
鹌鹑哥哥又不会唱歌，跑过去搞毛啊！
哎呀，人在北京，心在成都，对不对？
不是，他你妈要练练唱歌的呀！既然叶老师他们那么喜欢出去唱 KTV， 那就练一练呀。
他不会唱，
要不然你怎么成为这个全场最靓的仔？
他不会唱的，因为唱了会丢人的呀！妈的，这唱的不好听。
对呀，你就要练一练的呀，要不然你怎么成为最靓的仔嘛？
他现在所有的一切就是把最好的一面展现给叶老师，好吧？
你买单那是最后才亮呀！你妈的，你最后亮没用的呀！你妈哎。你如果全场你占据主动，包了走，差不多可以走了，可以走了，飞龙在就行，对不对？如果你全场都是你在主导节奏，然后你最后还把单买了，那你不闪亮全场？
不是，而且
你到最后来买个单，
今天你妈别人你妈的单位生日，他买个毛单啊！我靠！
对呀。但是如果你过去你唱的特别好，你就成为了全场的主角。换家了呀，这不龙狗换到底，马塞肉姐也用这种
换家就已经赢了呀，这个局面。
对，出巨象打不了飞龙换家，就直接被换死了。
你们说的没错，
现在 Zero 把所有的兵就往他飞龙，有气就全扮成飞龙，没气就全扮成狗，
你妈的
往他家里面冲就完事儿了。
高冷鹌鹑这个段位的确驾驭不了呀，好吧，的确驾驭不了。
对你要有点才一点，你妈的又不是让你去网吧打星际，
他才
你妈的现在是去唱歌去 KTV， 那你这个时候就算你唱的不好，但是你要有唱的勇气，你要把节奏带起来，你要把氛围带起来，你才能成为最靓的仔。妈你在旁边哦，你当鹌鹑，你到 KTV 你往角落一缩，你妈在那里喝闷酒，对吧？最后给自己点一首 K 歌之王吗？我靠，
他妈的不是。他他妈的就找个角落喝闷酒，那他妈岂不变最鹌鹑了？我靠！
那是呀，他妈的最后不变成 K 歌之王了。
这你妈
！K 歌之王有点难度，是不是？我就说这妈就变成 K 歌之王那个情节了。妈，其他人在里面都各种互动，就你一个人在那里默默的，你妈在一个角落，那你去搞毛？
最后守不了了吧？外面有个气矿，但没用啊，这个那么多飞龙抢点就行了。
元气浮夸，那他应该唱不了，就唱个 K 歌之王就好了。那歌词怎么说的来着？什么？我以为我唱的用心良苦，你就会什么？看看歌词。
没钱了，这个最后一个气矿了，这是等死现在。
Notice the massive Zerg advantage in base trades is your supply depots can fly to the corner of the map, and unless they have like a Void Ray or something or a Viking and they just leave it there killing them all, you can rebuild. The other players cannot rebuild.
为什么李平台找不到女朋友？我告诉你，其实不是李平台找不到女朋友，只是李平台有点挑，
他要求高，
对他要求有点高，然后他就是要找最好的，他觉得最好的，但是呢，你妈的有些他看得上的，别人看不上他。
There's a kind of rule of PvZ is you need to keep the Zerg worried enough about what you might do next that they're building.
对呀，就歌词呀。我以为我唱的用心良苦，你总会对我多点在乎。
你能不能唱出来？
我以为要是唱的用心良苦，你总会对我多点在乎，对不对嘛？你妈的就去角落这么唱，妈的怎么搞？
Obviously, everyone does. I know Clem and MaxVax are probably the two players I see accidentally kill their own units the most.
我已经相信有些人永远不必等，所以我明白在灯火阑珊处为什么会哭。
来了呀！直接 A 脸就好了，他妈的在搞毛啊！
He does have a new hatchery building in the top left. Zergling surrounding random zealots.
好，他去吃外面的吗？
Spawning pool drones go back to mining. He's got one spotting drone there. He's like, oh crap, he is coming. Oh no.
直接换死了这个。
就你这点货你怎么打嘛？
妈的，直接飞龙起脸的呀！他妈的，这打个锤子，这波飞龙
怎么敢出去的？
强退，就飞龙换家就输不了，打这个巨象追猎出去换家的。 神族必死！我以为虽然爱情成往事，千言万语说出来可以互相安抚，期待你感动。真实的我们难相处。我靠，你妈的，感觉就写的是李培南呀！写词的让我唱出你要的幸福。 谁曾经感动分手的关头，才懂得离开排行榜更铭心刻骨。我操，感觉你妈的！
唉，李培南，你妈！有没有兄弟能够把这个？
我想唱，妈李培南就在我想唱一首歌给我们祝福，唱完了我会一个人住。 我愿意试着了解，从此以后拥挤的房间，一个人心有多孤独。我靠，太他妈！
有没有兄弟能够把这首歌的歌词改一下，改成你妈的鹌鹑之歌？我靠！然后让黄哥妈的到时候唱一遍。
我靠，李培南最后就让我成为无情的 K 歌之王，麦克风都让我征服。想不到你若无其事地说，这样滥情何苦？
鹌鹑之王，这你妈！
我想来一个吻别作为结束，想不到你只许说我不许哭，让我领悟。我靠，怎么感觉句句都在写李培南啊？
不，我想澄清一下，他们两个现在到目前为止还没什么，你他妈别搞得他们已经有什么了，好像妈很那个。
就是没什么，你看一下是不是完全对上了这些歌词？最后怎么唱的？我想想这句是怎么唱的。 想不到你若无其事地说，这样滥情何苦？我想来一个吻别作为结束，想不到你只说我不许哭，不让我领悟。
这你妈！
就是这么唱的，我想起来了。
He's waiting in the wings. We've got a best of 7 semi-final today as well. Remember.
就是这么唱的。
妈的，这个高冷鹌鹑李培南，这首歌可以啊，鹌鹑之王。
我以为要是唱的用心良苦，你总会对我多点在乎。我以为虽然爱情已成往事，千言万语说出来可以互相安抚，期待你感动，使得我们难相处，写词的让我唱出你要的幸福。好像就这么唱的。
哎，
完了，一会儿李培南来了，我要唱给他听。我靠！
我靠，野兵营啊，这拼一枪了！
感谢胆小好色李培南的一个飞机，感谢兄弟，
感谢兄弟啊！
鹌鹑还没来，鹌鹑来了，一会儿唱给他听。
鹌鹑不知道今天会不会来。说不定他他妈现在就在直播间，你信不信
？The goal here is to deny the expansion and then try to macro behind it, or even you can try to just keep making stalkers and adepts out of the 2 gates to keep out the pressure as well. He's gonna come in. Cyril's bringing his single drone down. Trigger's like, oh, look at me. And obviously I talked earlier.
好了，我知道怎么唱了。
三兵营地堡 rush 实在是没有办法。
You've got to mix in some cheesy builds and some different things. That's just what optimal StarCraft play is. So I like that. I'm gonna try and play macro game one.
贵宾第一个就是他啊！李培南在直播间吗？不是啊，这个是贵宾榜啊，这个是。
继续点地堡。啊？
哎，好像对哦，李培南贵宾第一个就是他。
李培南
第一个就是他，
来歪歪了，黄哥给你唱首歌啊，李培南。
I think he's got a bit of experience against this opening because this is one of the more old school builds out there. I think Cyril's been playing long enough to remember.
哎呀，好像就是李培南，我靠。
Not as practiced. You very rarely see this these days. Let's see how well he can execute this. Does he try to depower the gateway?
我靠，这个战术有点狠啊！我已经相信有些人我永远不必等，所以我明白在灯火阑珊处为什么会哭。你不会相信嫁给我明天有多幸福，只想你明白我心甘情愿爱到要吐。那是醉生梦死才能熬成的苦，爱如潮水，忘了我是谁，至少还有你哭。
可以呀，黄哥唱的可以啊。
我想唱一首歌给我们祝福，唱完了我会一个人住。我靠，这第二段太他妈惨了，里面的。我愿意试着了解，从此以后，拥挤的房间，一个人的心有多孤独。我已经相信，这你妈太惨了！
哎，这两个尺度不会刷不出来吧？
不唱了，
完了，这两个尺度刷不出来，这个劣势
烧不了
了，
完全烧不了。
对，本来你还用两个使徒去拖住这个蟑螂，但现在拖不住了。别人这边搞完之后直接过来了。
罚款交一下嘛，李培南帮我把罚款交了啊！这首歌都是为你而唱，你把罚款交了就好了。
这首歌 ID 叫鹌鹑之歌。
I do like that Cyril. He's actually going to make 4 ravages. Oh wow! So he's going to try and break the cannons. But I think with the zealots in front as well, they might help a little. And essentially, it's just going to be an early Void Ray through trigger. I doubt he goes Oracle. He might. But an Oracle is going to struggle to have the energy to deal with 4
虚空啊，这对啊，肯定虚空呀，这种。 这 BY 可能
要是没什么问题。
对 BY
可直接3开了，经济太好了。这个 Trigger 这一波没打进去，就基本上。
我在想，他如果直接砸啊，这砸不了，补了个水晶。
Cyril, I think, has definitely had some experience playing against this in tournaments. He's played grand finals versus Haas as early as 2018, right? So
去录歌的时候一起把这首歌录了。好，
不有没有兄弟？
帮牛牛哥哥把这首歌录了。
有没有兄弟有
鹌鹑之歌？
有点才华，能够把这首歌稍微改。
对你把歌词改了，我把这首歌帮牛牛哥哥录了。
对，有没有兄弟能够把歌词改的稍微有点韵味，对吧？
是的呀。
Cyril, as always, outperforming anyone's doubts.
其实今天的重头戏还是 Cyril 打 Clam 那场。
紫菱，你妈的！
There are 2 overlords out here. He could dive on them. The queens are a little far away. He's actually looking into.
再改了是吧 ？OK， 靠你们了，兄弟们。
Sitting out in the open, Oracle goes for the Ravages. Watch out for the bile! Oh, good dodge by Trigger. He copped 1 bile there, but he gets a Void Ray and gets a drone. Not too bad. He's gonna have to get that Void Ray out though and heal it up. Back here at the 3rd, Zealot's cleaning it up. Probes are pumping out as well as these Oracles. Definitely wanting more damage is Trigger, but Cyril's got a Spore in the natural, Spore in the main. And probably going to be adding one on the 3rd in the near future as well. These Ravagers very adventurous.
直接刺蛇塔放下去，待会儿就刺蛇狗了呀。
Well worth it to kill a Ravager. It's a gas heavy unit. I'd probably go for the creep here though, just to slow that down. And Trigger with a pretty good pullback. Transfuse goes down to the Ravager. That's A-okay. Void Ray almost dead on the right side of the map. You want to pull that home so it can help defend these Ravagers. And there's a nice quick 3rd Nexus. Unfortunately for him, Cyril's too far ahead on the curve. Cyril has got 50 workers versus 35. And it looks like Cyril just defending with poise here. Didn't really realize what was happening until a bit later on, but he knew exactly what to do.
不过基本上 BY 打了你，如果说想要去转 VS 就转天空的话，你这个还要等 BY 好。这个天空其实转的有点慢的。
对。
Cyril 现在不知道要用什么科技啊，其实用刺蛇是最好的。
对，我去吃口饭，我好饿。
你去啊。
你吃饭了吗？
我吃过了，我吃过了。
我去吃口饭。
其实用刺蛇是最好的。哇，这都能砸到一下！哎妈的，鹌鹑哥哥肯定现在很气，我告诉你们，他要极力证明自己不是鹌鹑，是个渣男，但不可能，他他妈已经这个鹌鹑的形象已经深入人心了。我吃完饭了，我刚开播的时候我就吃饭了嘛，因为刚开播的时候就刚好家里面2个小的回来了嘛，那回来嘛就先吃饭嘛。
Actually gets 7 drones. Nice run by. This is Cyril's camera. No extra queen in the main. Spore on its own cannot defend that. Zergling's going to get 2 probes though. Oh, savage.
直接走女王。
If so, they shouldn't be walking there. They should walk.
啊，他走女王一波了，他不是走，他投女王一波，房子速度一好，然后变2个这个空投的房子，直接女王过去，直接一波。地面我认为赛罗是随便打，主要是天空，Trigger 的先知是不停的，再过来再看一眼，再看一眼。他不是投，他是直接用军坦扑过去，我靠，这个更狠。他直接是你妈的铁锁连舟，直接你妈军坦扑过去。Void Ray forced back. It's buying a few seconds of time. The queens are not far behind, and the overlords are about to drop out the purple carpet for those queens. Oh man, they were saving it up all day. They dropped Trow and start. 那这种扑过去没救了呀，没地面啊，现在完全没有地面。One of the more disrespectful things you could do to a Protoss is, of course, send an overlord in their base to put on their base. Obviously, not in real terms, but I'm talking in lore. If you think about the lore of the game, that's definitely got to be frustrating. 直接机器怎么打都打不赢。我9分钟200人口啊，没错呀，干嘛？有什么问题啊？我8分半就能200人口，不要有9分钟，我靠！
while re-expanding and droning behind it. Really clean defense for Serral. Alright, guys. Wait, is creep just poo? I mean, what else could it be? It comes out of their sphincter. On the other hand, Nidstan, keep in mind, that's the same spot where the creep comes out of is also where Zerglings climb into when they're going to get dropped. I'm just saying, Abathur doesn't care too much about the smell. If you're climbing into a Zerg dropship, it smells a lot worse than a medevac or a warp prism. Let's put it that way. If you've got to go into a sphincter to be Overlord drop, like it's
哎呀，李平南今天肯定很气，我就跟你们说，兄弟们。不，他最近这段时间都很气。
Alright, guys, let's have a very quick break. We'll play some ads. Don't worry, guys, if you're a sub, uninterrupted highlight clips. If you're not, don't worry, guys. These are clips we're going to be showing multiple times. We'll be back in just a few minutes. So, if you donate towards the Pigfest prize pool, you will be in the running.
他在宣传这个衣服啊，这应该是很多选手签名的衣服。我把这个打开给大家看一下。我看到 CIO 的签名了，反正很多选手的签名都有。这里面可能就没有鹌鹑的签名。7分半一攻一防蟑螂，你妈的7分半能有一攻一防蟑螂吗？你告诉我，一攻一防蟑螂有那么快吗？
The warp prism should cost gas, according to Lambo. 3 racks is OP, says Rotterdam. Scarlet says if you install StarCraft, you're already 6500 MMR with Protoss. You don't even need to know how to play the game. Protoss OP and Terran's Cry, says Spirit. Ghost, remove it from the game, says, I believe.
李佩南签名应该不在啊，应该不在。
Also, Age of Empires is better than StarCraft 2 from DeMuslim with a smiley face. So guys, don't forget to get your pitchforks out and go over to his crappy Age of Empires.
这个签名的衣服其实如果有的话就作为收藏，我觉得不错的。穿肯定，我觉得那么多人签名，你肯定穿不出去的。
So we've got only one of those. There is only one of those we're giving away, and we only have 2 mouse pads. So we got a couple of these bad boys.
这是什么东西啊？
Good table length mouse pad.
鼠标垫啊。 这应该是 Pig 自己的这个定制的鼠标垫啊，他都是猪，我靠！
You're gonna come with a Serral, Amaru. You've got Jadong, MC.
Serral 马入解冻 MC， 他上面说的啊，就这些人的签名。 应该是他这次去石油杯的时候让这些选手签的。
So getting there, guys, we are individually handwriting out raffle tickets and chucking them in here. It's $5 for a raffle ticket, and we'll post those out to you wherever you are in the world, even if we have to hire NASA to do it, to send stuff all the way from Australia to the opposite side. So if you donate towards the Pigfest prize pool, you will be in the running to win this lovely shirt, When Behind Balance Wine, one of our favorite designs from Dot, with our own logos that we definitely have the rights to. The Widowmine, the Dark Templar, and the Mutalisk. 3 favorite units. It's funny because when we first designed this shirt, people weren't really complaining about Banelings that much. So maybe we can update this shirt and do a new release with a Baneling over here, and then I guess people don't complain about Dark Temple. What do people complain about from Protoss? I don't know, a shield battery or something. We've got to update this to whatever the zeitgeist is like complaining about the most recently. Anyways, we've got Protoss AP Wardy.
哎呀，这种衣服其实你收藏一下，如果有机会的话，能够收藏一下也蛮不错的。对，搞个这种钉子，把它钉在墙上，也蛮有意思的。
Protoss OP and Terran's Cry, says Spirit. Ghost, remove it from the game, says, I believe. Is that Reyna? Who said that one? I think that's Reyna. Also, Age of Empires is better than StarCraft 2 from DeMuslim with a smiley face. So guys, don't forget to get your pitchforks out and go over to his crappy Age of... Alright. What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
对啊，找个钉子把它钉在墙上，没错的呀，这有什么问题啊？ 相框裱起来，不用裱起来，这种有点个性，对吧？把它搞几个钉子，墙上一钉。
every donation on my stream goes towards the prize pool. Unlocks all these goals on the far left, top left of your screen. I know there's a lot going on this, but it's unlocking all those goals.
对啊，肯定要拿拖鞋拍的呀，不拿拖鞋拍，你妈钉子怎么钉得进去
？Our second carnival day, which will be next week, 2 days after the tournament finishes, we're running another carnival day with a bunch of. From now, 1 week from today is when the donos close. On the end of that carnival day, where we're gonna have more pros. You guys will have a chance to play against those pros in a whole bunch of wild challenges. So get in there, don't.
土豆没有那么硬，好吧？土豆，你妈土豆怎么敲钉子嘛？你们在说什么东西啊？
Prize pool, we have $532. I'm good with numbers away from that, guys. So get on it.
好了，来了。CRO 2-0领先啊，这是第3场。我们今天主要还是要看一场 CRO 对 Clem 的比赛啊，是一场波7的比赛。待会儿。
Clem is waiting in the wings for the winner of this match. He defeated Creator in a very close series. So very focused there. He's going to need to be very focused because
冻土豆比铁还硬。哎，说起冻土豆，我问个问题啊，我一直很想去尝试一个水果，但是一直都没有机会尝试。然后我今年我自己也在这个就试验做过这样的一个东西。东北是不是有那种冻梨的嘛？我今年还他妈特地买了几个梨冻在那个冰柜里面冻，但不是那种就没有这种没有那种冻梨的那种感觉。这冻梨到底是什么味道？对啊，黑色的，我冰进去，但它不会变黑色的呀，它就绿色，就青色的，就是青色的。
I always wonder, I'm like, what is the best way to do it? For some players, it's just oracles. Is there a quick glaive adept timing or something like that can go? Let's see what happens.
品种不一样。
It's cause of ping. It's the only reason, of course.
哎，你们不要跟我说别的，完了我就问你们一句话，好不好吃？那不要说跟我说别的东西，就是说好不好吃就行了。
Last one was on Europe. Adept's starting to come forwards right now. Here we go. Adept's coming on forwards. Trying to shade in. So far doesn't get any kills though. Good pullbacks.
好吃是吧？就看口味嘛，个人口味嘛，大多数还是好吃。
So far, no real special flavors coming out of Trigger. Just kind of chilled out. You'll rally a second adept across, so he will try to get some.
冰箱就是18度啊，零下18度啊，就妈的你还有能几度嘛？
Off his game a little bit. On the other hand, that's much easier said than actually achieved. Ooh, creep tumor in the open. Immediate snipe, very nicely done. Gonna pull back with that. And look at that, adept comes in from the other side. Should be able to get a drone or maybe at least a bit of mining time. Changing targets there.
这种 CRO 这种防使前期这种使徒真的太完美了，这选手。好，稍微守一下自己的使徒。开尔矿先知，这一套又是 CRO 比较就非常熟悉的那一套。家里面有女王来守就行了。这种用女王手的方式，你看你2矿就没有东西，好，你过来我就下，哎，妈个这反应慢了一排。但这里是打不了东西的呀，过来补位还可以。
杀了2个农民。
光哥，我给你推荐一下，你不是以前去过沈阳吗？
我去过啊。
你冬天有没有去过沈阳？
去过啊。
有没有吃过东北的特色？
什么东西？
冻梨。
我印象里面好像吃过。
就有很多兄弟都说这个冻梨很完美，好吃的一逼。
是挺好吃的，我吃过。
就那种黑色的嘛，他们说是这个梨。
啊，对呀。
hey, saves a work at 50 energy. He's already got a few active creep tumors out there, so definitely worth. And in total, losing 4 drones, 3 Zerglings.
以前我每年都要去沈阳，沈阳是大赛区。
So pretty good micro by Trigger, but hard to keep up the momentum against.
东北那边以前沈阳是最大的赛区嘛，我每年都要去。
就东北就只有沈阳一个赛区吗？还是还有这种什么辽宁？
还有那个哈尔滨有哈尔滨，但是小赛区。
哈尔滨北还是沈阳北？
那肯定哈尔滨北了。
He's just waiting for it to get enough energy that it can shoot for a few seconds. He's actually going to get a cancel on the 4th.
这基地要掉，基地要退一次。
应该要退，
哎，没能量了，没能量了，没能量了，不退，就不退。
最后1秒钟退的，
最后还是退了，最后1秒退。沈阳，我们当时是在那个铁西区做的比赛。沈阳去过很多次，当时 CF 的比赛也在沈阳。
他妈，他
也是大赛区。
这现在就开4矿啦？
对呀，怎么了？不行吗？
不是不行，是不是稍微过了一点？那么早就把4矿点下，而且点在正面。铁西区哪里？
你妈，15年前的事情呢，我怎么知道？还记得是哪里吧？铁西区一个网吧呀。铁西区的一个网吧。我就记得这个地方还有一个很好吃的，很好吃的这个烧烤。哦，不是烧烤，就是巴西烤肉，又便宜，
东北
39块钱还是
东北烧烤都好吃，
不是烧烤，是巴西烤肉。自助的39块钱还是69块钱，我忘记了。
以前
然后我们那帮转播的人天天都在那里吃。
以前巴西烧烤其实烤肉很多的，现在好像没几家了。
对呀，以前就很好吃。
杭州最开始也有一家巴西烧烤，叫什么？就老杭州的兄弟肯定知道，叫什么西部烧烤西部牛仔烧烤城，也是吃这种巴西烤肉的，好吃的一逼，我靠，肉很多。
然后旁边就有一个网吧。然后在旁边有一个洗浴中心，我就住在这个洗浴中心的顶楼，又方便，对吧？就在网吧隔壁，就是网吧，它网吧是一栋楼，跟它连着的。然后后来我们转播的人也住在那里。不，他可以住宿的呀，这个地方也是像那种快捷酒店一样的呀，可以住宿的呀，又便宜，还管吃的，你早饭中饭都可以在那里吃。
没有悬念啊，这个比赛真的是没有悬念 ，A 过去就死了。把它搞个美观一点，不要搞成这种。
不，这个 Trigger 就让 Zero 热手的。其实 Zero 主要今天是跟 Clam 这场波7。